Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. It's a good day to get some Street Fighter League in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Session 3. My name is Vicious, here with Senkola, and we present to you the English broadcast for Street Fighter League Season number 6. For today's schedule, well, we have a banger of a group going into all of the team matches today. Just to kind of give you a little bit of a hint, Good 8 Squad is going to be facing off against GyoGun, Nagoya Oja Body Star is facing off against HIROSHIMA Team Ikuza, as well as DetonatioN FocusMe facing off against Saishunkan Kumamoto. With that stacked of a lineup, I have to ask my co-commentator, yo, Senkola, first and foremost, how are you feeling today? As well as, how are you feeling about today's team matches?
I feel good, but I feel bad for some of these teams right now. 3 of the teams are actually going to be in the bottom rung right now. They have 0 points. There's 3 teams that you have listed that have not gained any points at all. But I think that's going to make for some good Street Fighter 6 because they need as many points as possible. Remember, this is the first half of this season. In the second half, we're cutting down the bottom 3 teams, and there's only so many plays, only so many events, only so many, I guess, chances to gain points that every single match matters, every single day matters. It's going to be the playoffs, the grand finals, world champions, as y'all see up on the screen. But we're still in regulation play. But again, not many days to get those points all stacked up.
Right, and again, there's just so many different angles to look at when it comes to round robin. You have to face every single one of those teams at least once, and that's where it gets you into pretty much stage 2, finding those successes, finding those points, right? Again, only the top 6 teams will be moving on into stage 2. That's when we'll start to implement the home and away side. But something that you should get familiar with, 8 million yen prize pool is going to be split up amongst the top 3 teams. Of course, 5 million yen, the lion's share, going towards first place, second place getting 2 million yen, and third place with 1 million yen, of course, courtesy of our sponsors, Clear for Men. Now, I gotta see what this is all about, man. As a person who is a big hair aficionado, I take a lot of good care of mine. You know, Senkola could agree. You know, we could probably try some of this ourselves. But all jokes aside, it's going to be quite a banger for this week. And we talked about the schedule just a little bit earlier ago. Now, we talked about some of the points as well, you know. We haven't really seen Saishunkan Kumamoto able to play these last week, if I'm not mistaken. So they're going to be up on the deck for at least the last match to get some of those points, possibly against DetonatioN FocusMe. We're looking at how that's played out so far for DetonatioN FocusMe. It hasn't been the best, but so far it's going to be pretty exciting to see. I mean, we're looking at Good 8 Squad, the former, or the reigning champions, technically, going up against GyoGun, who have had pretty much a splashback towards like the second half of the season usually. Nagoya Oja Body Star, with a lot of promise, by the way, with their character selection, as well as player profiles too. HIROSHIMA Team Ikuza finding brand new life also in Street Fighter 6. They're a lot more confident this time around, right?
Yeah. But just going back to what the first match we're going to see is Good 8 Squad versus GyoGun. This is actually a 5th versus 6th place position right now. Good 8 Squad teetering on the line. They got to stay fine. Again, you do not want to be below the bottom 3. That's going to be sick to see. You mentioned the Good 8 Squad with the reigning champions, and they are, but they're not looking so fine. You know, being in a 5th place position. 25 points is all they've gained so far. And again, this season has gotten more deadly. A new playing field being Street Fighter 6, and the fact that everything has been reset. Now, let's talk about the Good 8 Squad. Coming up on the screen, we have the battle consultant himself, the coach, McGurk out here, Tachikawa, coming up with that modern man, Luke. Right behind is another modern player too as well, the Evo champion, the Cosmic Buster, Kawano. Always stick with it. And then after that, oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't Kawano, Spugera. I got mixed. This is actually Kawano right here. The Singularity, the one that stands supreme. And then last but not least, Gachakun, the oddest hero, doing work with Manon and waiting for that Rashid.
It's, man, the honest hero. He definitely knows what he's doing out here. Saying that with Manon. To be fair, she does kind of have to work hard before she even gets those medals, right? But man, look at that. Yo, Pugera's already ready. Let's take a look at who they're going to be playing off against. Team GyoGun back in the saddle. Going up first, obviously, the Prince of the Rapids, Mizuha, lending a helping hand. More than that, with the Cammy. Also with a sub Jamie, just in case. The hero of Sunrise, of course, it's Moke. with an ever-impressive Chun-Li, also with a ton of secondaries if need be. Mr. Optimal! It's Machibo, our first Ken, by the way. I know you guys are big fans of Ken. Then, of course, the 2D God, Mago himself, with that ever-impressive jewelry. Now, they're pledging their allegiance to the league, as you can see. They're putting their full hearts in it, and damn, I gotta say, Mago always in good spirits. It's contagious, man. It makes me want to smile too. But I'm glad they're always in those good spirits. Looking at their previous performance over in week 2, they had a pretty significant run in regards to like trying to find success. Machibo started things off very, very strong against Kazunoko's Kami of all players. And then, of course, we saw Mago just fall a little bit short. Moke falling a little bit short as well. But looking into it, I was wondering who they were going to send in first, and it truly is going to be Mizuha, who hasn't had his games just yet. But he's going up against Kawano.
Wow. Modern, another modern man on this team. Yo, shout out to Mobich. He's done a little bit of research for us, the other translator out there, always providing a lot of good data. Has said that Kawano isn't so, 100% right now with this game. Doesn't feel like, feels he's like 50-50. But does believe in Modern. We saw him work with Modern out at the Red Bull Kumite last chance qualifier. Maybe didn't make that top 8 spot, or was not able to qualify. But I saw the strength of that. He can run Classic if need be. So we'll see what happens out here. If he's solidified more to like a 60-40 or maybe like a 7-30. Curious to see what he's saying right here. And again, how solidified he is. We've seen the talk of Modern become such a strong point in Japan. Recently, what was it? It was Sako. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was Haitani running Chun-Li, getting like a 70-something win streak with Modern Chun-Li, despite what she has lost, doing a lot of work with that character, showcasing, hey, you can work with Modern play. Like, it's still a very competitive aspect.
No doubt. I think there's a lot that's said amongst those overseas, at least coming from my perspective, right? For those that are in Japan, a lot of them have really been exercising the use of Modern with a lot of different characters. I think they're going to make a significant impact, I think, if and when they show up at EVO, right? I think a lot of the West has kind of just focused on learning the characters to a certain degree and get themselves ready for whatever matchups. It's so wild that Japan is already a step ahead in not only just learning the matchups, but also learning the degree of like how convenient Modern can be. Right, I feel like that technically opens up a different type of matchup. Like, it's not just a classic Luke anymore, it's a modern Luke where the reactions are just going to be that much easier to get some of these big punishes or get some of these big combos, etc. Right? You don't want to mess with, like, for example, you don't want to mess with a modern Luke with a full CA, like trying to like fireball somebody because of the reactions. Sure, you take like 80% of what you normally would get off of that, but 80% is 80%, especially in critical art, and that's something to consider now.
Yeah, that's a big pain point. On the reverse of things, also looking out for what buttons they lack. So there are buttons that you don't have to really worry about, so your mental stack is on just what they have. Like Luke, for example, you don't have to worry about staying light kick buffer into drive rush, which is like the Goichi special. You don't have to worry about staying medium punch that kills your drive gauge, where it's like a good closer button that we've seen from the likes of Dual Kevin. Those buttons are off the table. You have to worry about the other buttons and what they're going to be focusing on. So there is some benefit. Modern does have some drawbacks. You lose some of those buttons, as you mentioned. You lose some damage on those CAs. But there's still benefits as well, and these players are finding benefits. We saw Tachikawa work. We saw what he could do against actually a classic version of that character when he fought Goichi in the first of one. Let's see, though, if Kawano has the same sort of, I guess, energy that the Tachikawa has. Kawano did say that this is his first game. He's wishing for his own win, and Mizuha says he's very confident. It's also his first game, and he's ready to start. So I'm ready to see Mizuha, who has been routinely a very aggressive player, and see what he does with this Kami play. I love watching his streams. He hasn't streamed as much lately. I'm assuming, like, having that background practice. I'm trying to show everything on his stream, but when he does, it's always a win streak after a win streak. 40 or 60 wins or whatever, and I'm like, dang, this dude is a grinder.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to the most, right? These were the two that were on my mind, considering they haven't played the last time we saw both of these teams step up to the plate, right? So it is truly their first game against each other. We don't have any sort of data on them outside of what is currently given on their streams and what they submitted for like their character selection, right? The most we have is obviously just Kawano's stream and also Red Bull, as you mentioned earlier, and Mizuha's streams as well. But looking into the characters themselves, right? Luke versus Kami, if we're talking about it on paper now, this is just from the current experiences that I've had. And I did play this matchup a handful of times over at Houston Gaming Expo not too long ago. I think there's a lot to be said in regards to what Cammy can do to kind of traverse some of the fireball pressure that Luke presents, or even some of the normals that he wants to play. I think dive kick is always going to be that kind of threat, but Luke is also that guy to contest against it pretty well. Like, he has an uppercut, he has a very, very good crouching heavy punch to stuff things out from the air and get some big conversions if it happens to punish counter. I think overall, it really depends on the momentum. It's a very heavily based on momentum type of matchup, in my opinion, between Luke and Cammy. So whoever gets exposed first, it's difficult.
We'll see. I like how you point out that crouching fierce as an anti-air. I've seen Noble post out some really nasty counter hit combos against the hooligans, so you can't get in that way if they're awake and aware. A crouch fierce is going to lead into a perfect light knuckle, into a lot of damage, and also corner carry, which Luke is very blessed with without having to spend a lot of bar, which is one of his big benefits. And it's a really well-rounded character. But also, you're right, the dive kick might clip some of these limbs. Luke likes to go for a crouching union kick, which may not be a pain point right here. Either way, first match of the day, Kawano versus Mizuha. Kawano with a resounding start right now.
We did see a slight error on the pickup from Kawano. He did have an initial combo, but had dropped it. Got a forward heavy punch, or forward heavy, technically modern instead. But yeah, he still gets the medium target combo. The snap back combo.
So strong. Oh God, the Mizuha, the aggression right now. That shimmy session up in the corner. First round with the quickness to him.
Oh, the big punish counter there, but still no conversion. Mizuha is playing it safe. He just wasn't ready for it. Damn, that was so deep! That was actually at, what, his toes? Got a full conversion. Watch out for the pressure. Oh, the uppercut, get off of me.
Him up a bit, trying to find something off that sit heavy kick as like a preemptive against the fireball. Has him caught up in the corner of the throw. Looking so good. Okay, crouching with kick saves the day. Oh no, perfect knuckle. That could have been way more. At least gets the back throw. It's a positional advantage.
Yeah, it seems to me Luke gets his full kit from mediums, other than like medium kick. I'd imagine standing medium kick, but everything else, he's oh no shot. No shot. Was that modern? The damage is not as much. I'm gonna assume that was modern control super 2. Oh boy, big punish. Yes, sir. Nice and easy for Kawano.
Dang, I like the idea though. He's been one to catch people, you know, on the way down. We've seen him use sweeps previously in Street Fighter 5 to catch people on the, like, when they're trying to jump over as an anti-air. But that was not able to hit though. Oh, dive kick, clips the crouching mini kick again, clipping the limbs. Fantastic way to get in.
It's very difficult to try to play a grounded game against Cammy, to be quite honest with you, just because of the threat of the dive kick, right?
With the long limbs, might get hit. He is not finding a lot of these perfect knuckle combos. You have to do so to dump out the damage.
Yeah, it's so pivotal playing that little mini game with Luke, trying to get those perfect knuckles. One throw and you're in. Yep, that's more than enough. You know what's wild about that is Mizuha was totally complacent with just getting those throw loops going. What are the options that Mizuha has, right? Oh, the uppercut, sure, you're wasting bar, or like not wasting bar, but even if it hits, it's not an immediate threat for Mizuha. If you were to spend maybe like a super art, that's totally fine with him. Less resources on the table, so he was in a great position to continue on with those loops. There it is, yes, modern uppercut.
Ready and steady with it. Gotta have those against the dive kick that's clipping between these limbs. Has him in the corner, jab, jab, light knuckle. Eat some damage on the deck. Gotta make the most of this corner pressure. I mean, he has some fantastic buttons, but Mizuha is back in. ODDP. Ooh. Impact.
He was committed to it, right? He saw the heavy punch into fireball. Mizuha making the right read with the drive impact. Forward throw now. Gets a zoom on in there with drive rush. Doesn't get to cover the option of forward jump though.
Second time he's missed that. Now up in the corner in burnout is Kawano. Throw once again. The wake up option is the OD this time. So I'm not going to hold it. No more throws for me.
That was
full.
That was actually OD. That's so risky, right? I mean, like, if you had blocked that as Mizuha, you would have taken the game. You would have taken the round, I should say. With the knuckle, that's fine. We're missing some of these perfects, man. We're missing some of these big perfect conversions.
And we didn't see that be a problem on the other side of things. Tachikawa, we don't miss that beast mode, baby, level 2. Let's get through right to the corner.
Baby. An important tech. Look at how far away it's pushed back. Oh, he doesn't get access to back heavy. No, he does. Interesting. So I was wondering about that. Like, I can't remember what heavies he gets in his kit as Modern Luke, but even after the wall splat, he missed out on the optimal combo of doing back heavy punch into a full charge knuckle, full, at least perfect knuckle, right? So I was very interested as to why he had made that kind of, like, I guess, intentional or not.
It's kind of shades of Street Fighter V when he pulled out that Luke and it wasn't fully optimized. We weren't seeing like perfect knuckle combos all the way, but it was just enough because of his neutral. His footsies were great, but wait now. Mizuha's pieced up in the corner. Here's a back throw as a defensive option. Can he switch this around? There's the DP. Yeah, modern man. Oh, but the OD DP lands.
Very smart choice from Mizuha. Needed just the right amount to get that to kill. And looking so strong. There we go. We get the perfect. Yes, sir. Damn, that's a lot of damage.
Still ridiculous. For the corner. Runs the medium. Gets the knockdown. Drive rushes in. Tries to get the throw. But TK dive kick. I love that she's got these options with that, but I don't love that DP. He's out of there. The flash knuckle to escape.
Do you spend it? No, you're not going to spend it for the burnout? Mizuha playing with fire. He's backing away. It's fine. And I get it, man. You don't want to mess with Modern Luke. You don't want to mess with those reactions. Where's the big opener? Mizuha should close it nice and easy. Didn't even need the level 3. That's all she wrote. 2-1 in favor of Mizuha. Striking first blood for Team GyoGun.
We'll go back to the fact that Mizuha playing a more grounded game when need be, he was like, okay, you're gonna DP me, that's fine. I'll keep it nice and grounded. She's got the walk speed to walk this character down. She's got the crouching mini kick, the crouching light kick, the fantastic stand fierce, and of course, drive rush will definitely help out. And just, again, the drops, though, on the side, we'd like to see more of them flash knuckles to dump out the damage that Luke is known for.
Right.
Even though, you know, it's going to be scaled up in Super, bro, like, I got to see more of that if you want to really pick up the pieces of that match. Even in Street Fighter V, we saw him slowly get better about that when need be, because he was like, I'm missing this aspect of this character, and he's missing it here, too, as well. Mizuha, the resounding W.
Yeah, there was a lot too to kind of take away from that particular matchup from Mizuha. One of the biggest things that I liked is him improving or changing the status quo between what happens after a throw for Luke, right? Just having that OD instant TK cannon strike is so important. The dive kick, right? Because of the risk reward behind it. If you do the OD version, it's not going to be too bad for Mizuha. If it hits, you get all the time in the world to get a corner carry, get a combo, etc. So that's really, really important. But looking at the importance of the stats here, looking at what had happened in the anti-air department, you know, Mizuha didn't have the best score, obviously 40%, but he was more focused on the ground game as he should be against Luke. But I think one of the bigger stats that I like to see would be the invincible reversals. 100% from the side of Kawano, and then 67% from the side of Mizuha. Not bad. I mean, those big risks obviously paying off for both ends. I think both of those players had the right read against each other majority of the time.
So that's Mizuha getting some points for his team. Kawano, the reigning champion of EVO, and also one of the pivotal points of Good 8 Squad's victory last season, going down, still not comfortable with the Modern Luke. I see the ideas. They just have to be a little bit more perfect. And we're going to see who's going to come up next here in a second. We got spoilers. I kind of want to wait a little bit until they're showing up on the screen. I like both these teams. Honestly, I think they're both well-rounded. You know, there's a lot of kin on the side of GyoGun. But it's going to be Modern Man Tachikawa against the kin that is Machido. I know people complain about a lot the amount of kin, but the variance of Machido in his play is going to be different than Fujimura, than Tokido. We've seen different styles throughout the league already. You've seen it when you see the kins play. There's so much variance in this game already off the bat. It's like the first month and a half of the game. And Machido is a jump god and an anti-air master. But this is Tachikawa on the Modern Luke, who did a lot of work with this character, who had perfect combos all the way through. This I expect a lot from. I expect a lot from Tachikawa, who is the coach of this team, was the coach of many of the players too as well.
And apparently we have some intel from the chat. Chinken Dumpling said Tachikawa been practicing with Daigo's can. I believe it. I genuinely believe it. You know, I have seen a lot of just Daigo streaming in general, right? He's currently restreaming Street Fighter League as we speak alongside Kokujin. Haitani's here too. But more often than not, I think, you know, Tachikawa is looking for sets against like the top 5. Ken is definitely included into that. But what needs to be said is that Machibo has such an amazing skill of adaptation, right? He's adapted towards Kazunoko from the last session that we saw against that team earlier. I think it was Cyclops, right? Team Cyclops. So this is like the biggest challenge, right? Tachikawa having the right character, in my opinion. Luke's a very strong character. Having the reactions plus modern, it's a great winning formula, right? He just has to deal with Machibo's adaptation.
I think that's correct. And honestly, this is a matchup where, like, I mean, for Ken, you'd like to poke the fireballs. Obviously, there's faster fireballs on the side of Luke. We all know that. But you have to have fireballs as part of your daily breakfast when it comes to Ken. That's the setup for pokes and things like that. That helps you feel comfortable in that close to mid-range. But with modern reactions, you've got the easy input to allow you to get through the fireballs. Something that Machibo has to consider. However, you talked about him being the adaptation master. I think we're going to be seeing that. I think he'll be ready. Even though he didn't think that Tachikawa will come against him, he already won first game, so he wants to continue that momentum. But Tachikawa said, my apprentice Kawano lost, so he wants to win this game. And what's crazy is he called an Evo champion his apprentice, but it's true. He is a coach. He's coached all these players, even in league previously. So, I mean, the coach is stepping up the bat to fight, and I can't wait to see what he does. We saw him do work previously in the first-to-one death. And the last time that he showed up, resounding and creating quite the stir-up in the chat. I saw y'all arguing the Modern versus Classic like it was Civil War, no Marvel.
I definitely was thinking about making that meme between Iron Man and Captain America, and then obviously it would be like MVC. That'd be so sick, right? There's bars within bars on that whole and that entire framework for the meme. So we're not going to get into that. What we're going to get into is Tachikawa versus Machibo, and there's a lot to talk about still in regards to the character matchups, but I mean, sorry, in regards to the player matchups. Well, let's talk about the characters real quick, right? I think one of the more important factors here, I think there's a lot more momentum base for Ken being able to steamroll his opponents with the normals that he has, also just his entire kit of special moves too. We'll see. Trying to go in for the jump in already, Tachikawa getting his reactions tested by Machibo, thinking maybe the Sandblast would be coming out, but this is a dangerous spot right here. Yeah, Ken can still kind of move on in there at free will. He can Dragon Lash if he needs to, but again, with Modern Luke, it's so difficult. That's such a smart drive reversal to get himself out of the Jinrai situation.
That's the right answer, but Machibo, unfortunate with the Tatsu drop right there, but I like him ready for that crouching medium kick. And that drive reverse, as you put it. Back throw, though. Taylor made to put you up in the corner. Impact, we react. Drive rush into Impact to react. Some damage on the deck.
Jesus.
The flash knuckle.
Oh, he could have finished it right there. Had he had the jet conversion. More than enough. That's what I was scared of.
Round 2. Fight.
Oh, so scary, just walking on in there with a standing jab too. Whoo! Oh, that could have been so scary. That could have been a drive impact on reaction for Machibo. He wasn't ready for it, but the punish counter is there. He's checking Tachikawa as soon as he's pressing those stand jabs in neutral. That's the second time. No, not fast enough. Beast mode, baby.
Level 2. Kill some of that bar. Get some of yours back. You're in the green now. Tachikawa. Drive rush into Impact. Machibo not reacting.
Word.
Upper. Wow.
I didn't think he was gonna get that. Was that perfect? I didn't get to hear the audio. Oh, he's living. It's fine. There's a lot of damage on here. Machibo does get a little bit of drive gauge back, but it's up to Tachikawa to guess for game. No drive rush. OD fireball. He's checking him. He's not letting him get in for free. Don't sandblast him either.
More space. Don't do it. My kick.
Combo
with the whip punish. You show me that foot too often, and you go and get it. The crouching medium kick has been whip punished continuously. How many times do I have to teach you this lesson? That is a big part of this character's game plan. We've already seen crouching medium kick fireball land but he walked back, got the stand fierce continuously. Tachikawa, I don't care if that's modern or classic, that's going to be Tachikawa reactions and readiness and steadiness to fight this character and understand the toolkit.
That's correct, yeah. You can do that modern or classic. That's just raw talent, raw reactions. Oh, the backdash
The
out of the
backdash.
corner. Away from the throw, side switch, boom. He wasn't ready for it. Gonna touch the corner, yes, sir. I'm loving that conversion. Uh-oh, hello. That punish counter is so significant. Look at the damage. Set himself up for a throw. You know it.
Attack. He ran right into his arms. A drive rush caught by the throw. Tachikawa. Spacing game is on point throughout this entire match. He's on set point.
So scary. There's the low forward confirm. Or at least the punish counter, I should say. My mistake. Beast mode, baby.
Once again, the level 2 big lead corner position. Dash up throw. The back dash, no. Just blocking out the overhead. Macho's got to find a confirm to get the Dragon Lash side switch. Got to find something, but look how pensive he is with these buttons. Driving with punish continuously. Stop. Stand fierce. Face to face to put him in his place. Build up to level 2, not just yet. Oh, you're through. The throw. Modern problems require modern solutions. That's Tachikawa with a 2-0 over Machabo.
I think that's the first time I've seen Machabo like somewhat stressed about the results. I've never seen him that animated after a loss, you know. I think, you know, most of the time, if he takes a loss to heart, he will have a little bit less emotion off of that. But there's something about, I don't know, I'm making a wild read here. I'm making a wild guess about the way Machabo took that loss. I think there's a lot of him kind of thinking about, man, I have no idea what to do against Modern, man, because I feel like those kind of reactions, that accessibility into some of the moves he had is difficult, man. But I think this is the first time we've seen Machabo ever kind of just take it the way he did, man. It's very, very enlightening, to be honest with you.
I mean, again, we talked about how Modern is another matchup you're gonna have to learn with these characters, especially as the rise of Modern happens and these players start moving towards that aspect. It might be like good for certain matchups or for certain players, but either way, you've already seen Tachikawa work last week. Macho just not ready for the modern man that is Tachikawa. And also, I like that Tachikawa innate defense was fantastic. It wasn't just about, oh, he's got the reaction because he's on Modern. We saw him delete the throws that Machabo was going for. He did the backdash, the early reads. Usually in Japan, I feel like a lot of Japanese players will go for that early backdash, like before the throw loop start, as their early read. He cycled that so quickly, so early, and of course, looking for crouching kick, fireballs, things like that. That's just like good play. That's not just Modern. That's just good play right there. And you saw that pensiveness from Machabo. So I agree with you. I think that pensiveness definitely showed that Machabo was like, bro, I don't know what to do. I am lost.
You're no doubt. Take a look at the stat, right? The second to last item is the amount of throws teched successfully, right? 1 out of 4 from the side of Tachikawa. 2 out of 8, man. That is like double the amount of attempts that Tachikawa had in comparison to Machabo, right? There was a lot to be said in regards to that defense you were talking about, that innate defense. Although it was more or less, 1 out of 4, I think, forcing Machabo to stop the throws is pretty significant because of that one backdash or even some of the jump outs, right? And again, very, very important to note that he also went for at least one OD reversal to get him out of harm's way. So very, very significant in regards to the defensive aspect of Tachikawa. So overall, I think he was the complete package in that game. All of that tech, all of the work he's done against Daigo, or I guess with Daigo, has completely paid off. I really wonder what Daigo had to say about seeing that matchup and the results as well.
Oh, we get FGC translated on that, but right now we're gonna get to our anchor match. GyoGun versus Moke. GyoGun on the Manon, which is kind of a wild pick. I did not expect him to go to Manon. I remember in the early days of 6 on his stream, he was testing out various different characters. Saw the Luke, being tested. Maybe that was a carryover from, the demo. But he's sticking with Manon right now. And I gotta wonder what's gonna happen in the future after Rashid drops it, after Evo. Will he utilize that character? But either way, right now it's a Manon. It's gonna be Rashid. It's gonna be Rashid. But for right now, it's Manon.
Yeah. No doubt. We're getting a couple of words for our pre-fight going in between Gachikun and Moke. And this is kind of expected, I feel like, with the two teams. A little pensiveness too, or less, I guess, a little reluctancy from the side of Mago in regards to how he performed the last time they were up on stage. So having Moke kind of go up for the points at this moment as the anchor is a pretty huge deal. I think Moke might just be the strongest of the pack, just based off of his recent performance.
I think that Moke definitely is up there. I think this is a good matchup here for Moke overall, because the fact that Chun-Li does fantastically against Manon. You can walk back, or so you can follow the fireball, set up the wall of plasma, put that on the screen, and just walk behind it. And she's got to make a big bet to try to either fade through or just hold that, get him with these fantastic buttons. And you can strike back into stand heavy kick, which is such a good party starter for that character. You've got fantastic buttons to fight out. I do think that, you know, she can kind of play the mid-range with stand medium punch and the drive rush, but it's not as significant. But overall, I've seen this matchup being played. We've seen it over Ebo Kumite, it was like Oil King, and you know, the other players and stuff like that I've seen on CFN. It looks like Chun-Li has a fantastic time. We'll see. I mean, Gachikun's a lab rat. He's a very confident player. He's a very confident walk forward type of player. Once he has that confidence, he'll walk you down. And I've seen him play. He doesn't really rely upon the medals. Like, he relies upon the idea of the medals. I don't know if that's because he's not an innate grappler. We've seen him on Sagat, Rashid. Rashid could kind of be a grappler, but not like a traditional grappler. So maybe that walk-in pressures from that. But we'll see what happens in this match. This is for a lot of points right now, so a lot of things matter. I wonder if he's going to change up his gameplay, put more medals, and put the character down. If you want damage with Manon, you need medals.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid statement overall, right? I think it just makes the mind game that much more challenging when you see him on with multiple medals. Even at level 3, you're starting to force your opponent to think a little different, right? Because of how significant that strike grab is, or even just the command grab is. Even at level 4, you're looking at 3k damage, and ultimately level 5, that'll grant you 3,700 damage. So we'll see if Gachikun can force Moke's mind right in regards to what Manon can do, or at least what he wants to do with the pace, right? He wants to kind of dictate the pace, but as you mentioned earlier, just to kind of harp in on it, Chun-Li, fantastic time in neutral. I don't see Moke really struggling in this matchup. It's really up to Gachikun to kind of slowly work him to the corner, right? Slowly work off of the subtle hits that he's going to get. It's going to be a whiff punish game, or at least have Moke preoccupied so much with the ground game that he might get a jump in, because Manon's jump in is pretty frustrating. It is pretty frustrating. And we've also seen some of the inconsistencies. I talked about this on Twitter. Some of the inconsistencies with Tensho kicks, right? It's going to be a little bit of a problem because Manon's jump arc could be a little deceptive. Her jump roundhouse immediately reduces that jump arc by like 50%. So we'll see whether or not the ground game is going to prevail for Gachikun or if it's the air game. We'll see.
Also, the problem for Manon is the fact that she's an expensive girl. She needs a lot of bar to go far, get them stand medium punch, get a drive rush, and just in general to get things going. Does get the command grab flowing though. That's level 2 right now. Gachikun, I've seen him content to work around this, around level 3 also for the medals. Uh-oh, Tencho kick in there for that corner carry drive rush in with the low for the throw reset too as well.
Did you see that? That exact example, right? There was so much hesitancy from Moke to get an anti-air. Oh my god!
Oh, the throw bait! You're so sick.
That's messed up. That's kind of messed up. Yeah, level 1 to finish it, you already know. Moke, you dog! That was such a stutter step, man. You actually broke Gachikun's ankles.
Dang. I know Gachikun's like, just wait till I get Rashid. Just wait till I get Rashid. But right now, we're in here and now. Let's start for the corner carry. Okay, with that corner push. He's so aggressive about getting, immediately get that corner push. With these pickups, Dance Odie fireball backs up. Look, you think that you have a chance to press a button. And you see the parry on the wake up. I knew what he was going to do.
This is so sick. Look at the damage. Bro, she is dead. She is deader than dead. That is what, 60% off of a punish counter. And that was a drive rush punish counter for maximum impact. This guy Moke is clearly the superstar of Team GyoGun with the way he is playing. Dear Lord Almighty, give this man an award now. Give him the medals. Mano, give her the medals.
Yeah. Hand them over.
Give it to Chun.
He said, oh man, that was it. Let me take a second. It's been rare that we've seen people go back to the lounge for a second and take a breather, but he got pieced up in the corner, bro. He got nicked up. And you see that slight walk back like you thought you could press a button. No go, Bozo. Not out here, Moke. Bro, we've seen the Twitter text. We've seen him get nasty. Hazanchu as a throw bait, he's in his head like the back of his eyelids. Moke, as you had said, is the star. But we'll see. It's only the first match, but it was such a resounding defeat that Gachu had to go back and he's had to take a second. I don't even know what you do in the situation. I'm gonna be real with you. Out-neutraled, outplayed, the fireballs locking him in the corner. You don't really have that many reversals. You have to rely upon the secret arts to levels to get out. You don't really have a DP that Chun-Li has to worry about.
Yeah, no doubt, man. But I gotta say, that was... I'm taking this from your book, right? That was truly the finesse and bless, right? You're looking at the pace he set from the initial round. He juked him with the Hazancho and then just proceeded to steamroll.
Gonna see another cooking, another course. Okay, now after the running that medium, I like that. After the fireball came through, a lot of damage.
Oh, we're seeing a
whip
lot.
punish.
No.
Oh,
What a good call out from Moke. That neutral jump, yeah, that's gonna catch the stand roundhouse from Mano. As good as that is as a ground poke, man, there's a lot of recovery on that bad boy. You're dead. You're deader than dead. Moke had plenty more in the tank to finish that out. Already at nearly 2 bars of super gauge, by the way. Pretty much the same as Gachikun does get the punish counter. Yes, sir. Metal level 3. Metal level 4, excuse me.
All right, what's in store? Has him up in the corner, harassing with that button. About to jump out. Time to get him right back in the corner. The Trey will take that to keep him in the corner as much as possible. Misses the anti-air. You pointed this out, them anti-airs. He's a little bit pensive to go for them.
That's tough. I think it was just a little bit too early from the side of Moke. It was a counter hit afterwards. There's a punish counter. This should be more than enough. You have to finish it with the strike throw to get level 5. That's so smart. Really, really good for Gachikun to end the combo the way he did to make sure he gets level 5 metal going on into the final round of game 2. For Oki? Oh my god, 3,700! Damn!
Check that yellow. It's not mellow, bro. It's one more grip. That's going to be it. Forward heavy kick. You thought it was a throw? Not going to happen. The forward heavy kick connecting, getting the pickup. Oh, check over that medium punch. That is plus.
I love the attempt for the reset too from Moke. Now he's in full control. Level 3 is a possibility on wake up for Gachikun. Is he going to go for the risk? He's not. He has to hold all of this. He can't afford to throw anymore. He goes for the level 3!
There it is! Sing it, chat!
It was only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time. Saint Cola and I, we were thinking it, but I gotta say, Gachikun, he heard it. He heard it in our brains. He's like, you know what? I think now is a good time. With how comfortable Moke was on offense, I think it's a good time to bust it out. What a response from Gachikun.
What a jump in against the fireball round start with it. The reads, all right, you a grappler player. But honestly, it's honestly been, if I land these command grabs, if I get my damage going and flowing, I play the long con. It's a big part of this, win factor, impact against a fireball. Level 3 already.
Just bullying in the corner, crouching medium punch over and over again, keeping Moke in check with the roundhouse as well as the low medium kick. Moke, he can't whiff a normal because this happens right here now. Damn, that's the damage. And take a look, chat. It's your favorite. We got level 4. We're getting closer and closer.
Further and further, more than Moke has to worry about. Gets a pickup. Has to be careful about him sneaking in. Woody crescent kick. Level 1 for the side switch. I like this. And now gets to the command grab. Your post up against the corner. Might be Jono bail. Oh, we found our way out light, but does not force himself out enough for like some Oki. No legs. Crouch fierce anti right there. You'll take that trade. Gachikun. And again, you can't escape.
You see what I'm saying? It's exactly what we prefaced it with earlier. Once you have a level 4 or level 5 threat, the opponents will start acting different. That's where you get to dictate the pace. GyoGun went into full adaptation, went into full reaction mode anytime Moke took to the skies. Every option he presented, by the way, whether it was neutral jump, whether it was instant air legs, GyoGun had the answers. He's the opposite of Sway in the morning when it came to the Kanye West interview. He does have the answers, Sway. He does have the answers. I'm telling you.
It was all a bait the entire time. It was all a ruse. GyoGun, I see. He's like, y'all talking mess about me? I'm going to show you this Moke dude is free. But it's not looking super free on the side of Moke all the way. I mean, he's got some good sequences. I like the throws up in the corner, but he's got to be able to go back to that stutter step where he's able to like call out the reversals. We saw the side switch. He's got to be careful. You got to hold more sometimes to not go south. The grips are coming through a little bit too often, and that's leading to that damage. But this is leading up to like that long con game. If I get these medals, if I start putting these command grabs in, we acted different. I also like that he has been not whipping that stand heavy kick. I've actually had trouble with that button, and I've been watching people, and they just go for that neutral jump, and I'm like, oh, that's the answer. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
that's what I gotta do. So he's took it off the table. I'm like, that's what I gotta do. Cool, cool.
We're starting to see a little bit of a different approach from Moke. A couple of those stand jabs early, but it's not going to be enough to deter GyoGun. Already level 3. Don't get up. Yeah, I was going to say, he might get gripped up for one more touch. Go for the strike command grab. Yes, sir. Level 4. You already know what it is, man. Moke, he's looking stressed with a capital S.
Ooh. How do you put the rest? As GyoGun's on set point right now. Looking real good. And the economy of butts has been good. Okay, finally the anti-air right there. Pitchel kick actually lands. And better spacing of these fireballs. Not so close. Can't get drive impacted or stand heavy kick punish countered. Oh. Careful now. Stand can get whip punished.
Man, no big conversions off of some of these hits from Moke. There we go. Hey, decent amount of damage. Very expensive, but we're looking for the corner carry now. We do take that burnout as well. Fierce, fierce. Safe jump setup. Look at the chip damage. That's plus afterwards. Forward throw now. No loops for Chun. She has to walk up manually and do it.
The jab right there. Backs up for the anti-air. Perfectly placed. We're going to get a side switch. Oh, God, Lord, don't let him get close. Long distance relationship. Keep it away. No catfish. Impact. Oh, did not get this flat. Just a centimeter away, but the medium comes into play.
For Oki? Oh. No, I don't know what that confirm was into super. Oh no!
Is it burnout?
Burnt
No!
out! Oh, they're both burnt out!
Burnout.
Oh, that's so smart. GyoGun wasn't ready for the heavy Hazanchu. It was plus enough to get himself into trouble with the block stun. Really smart. Salvaging the round was Moke.
Check the top though. Make him drop with that level 5. The command grab. Even the idea is dangerous. Runs the OD. DP gets some distance with it. Drive rush hella meaty.
Yeah, that was so delayed.
That Oki the tag.
Oh, 37. Oh my God. Again, double. 7,400 damage off of that. Listen, I'm no mathematizer, but I've been hit plenty with a level 5 mono command grab. And I'll tell you what, man, 7,400 damage is literally majority of everybody's health in this game. Phenomenal coming in from GyoGun. Damn. Woo.
That's a Capcom Cup champion right there. And again, taking a second, going back to the lounge and saying, oh, I got command grabs with this character. My bad. Let me just throw that in. But honestly, I feel like he was setting up for those situations to be like, okay, now I can start putting these command grabs in a longer set for a grappler. Sometimes it helps out to be like, okay, now I got these reads, I got the data, I can get these command grabs to land and get nasty with it. His drive bar expenditure was a lot better too as well, getting a lot more off those mediums, taking moves off the table when need be. That stand heavy kick had already been neutral jump once. He said no more, never again. Moke just could not deal with this cat, was walked down to the corner. That confidence from GyoGun that we see with Rashid is in Manon, and we see victory on the side of Good 8 Squad once again. Even with a different character, dominance from GyoGun. God damn.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, she could be quite the problem. I don't like Chun-Li's fireball too much. I think there's a couple of things we need to look at in terms of like the openings that GotchaKun had presented that kind of like forced Moke to change up his approach in regards to the ground game, right? One of them obviously is getting fireballs jumped on. That was such a big opener for GotchaKun, and that pretty much paved the way for the rest of the setup of the match, right? I guess he was able to play the ground game significantly easier as soon as fireballs weren't as much of a threat, and actually forcing Moke to not hold his charge, right? I think there's a lot to be said about just that presence alone. So obviously Pugera is saying his piece for his teammates. Wasn't up to bat this time around, but I'm sure he's saying something profound, something poetic to explain the justices of Manon and how she's been treated in Japan. I feel like, you know, this character needs a little bit more of the limelight.
Well, we've seen it happen in Brussels Challenge, getting top 8. Those Manon players themselves are maybe not too positive on the character. They might need a secondary. But you see the strength of when you're able to make those right reads happen. Pugera says we were thinking about the order yesterday, and now we're going to be focusing on Kumamoto too as well. But man, I just want to go back to the fact that Manon was able to get those reads, can dump out the damage, being able to walk these players down. Pugera also adds that, you know, the teammates, they did a good job. They did a good job. Obviously, as you said, was up on the bat. Maybe we'll see him next week with that DJ play. Reading some words from Kuwano, but man, good 8 squad. This is a dangerous team for a different reason. Like the character picks are fantastic but for different ways. Now you have to be prepared for modern Luke, for 2 modern Lukes, even though Kuwano had lost. And he said he'd wait for his win in about 3 months. Even though he had said, like, wait for my win. It's gonna come in 3 months. It's still a dangerous threat. Like, you have to be worried about modern Luke. I think Good 8 Squad has a very good squad of characters and players that people have to be uniquely worried about.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, having 2 modern Lukes alone in anybody's team sounds like a problem. It's either you have a Ken or you have a Luke, right? Those are the 2 biggest things that people kind of look for. Especially chat, they started things off with like, all right, I'm ready for Ken Fighter 6. And I'm like, man, listen, brother. There's a whole different thread out there in the ocean of characters, and also the ocean of different playstyles. So it's tough, man. But all jokes aside, I do think, you know, Luke Modern is the business, man. I think obviously the game was designed with Luke in mind. I guess he was like, we know, the prototype for what Modern was supposed to be like, and you know, he's gonna have like the most benefits, I think, design-wise. Yeah, just looking at his tools, right? He has all of his medium buttons. If I'm not mistaken, he has like the snapback combo. He has crouching medium punch. He has crouching medium kick. I don't think he has standing medium kick, which is just fine for him. I don't think that's too big a deal, but he still has like majority of his heavies. Pretty damn good.
Yeah, stand fierce is fine. Yeah, standing heavy kick, stand fierce is good. You know, those are fantastic buttons. I agree. I think it also depends on your playstyle too as well, like how you want to play this game. Like some people benefit from light kick, buffer, some don't. So like for some people that don't need those tools and have found their way to victory, fantastic. Going back to some of the interviews, looks like Tachikawa said he's wishing for 15 wins this year's league. GotchaKun said both teams were nervous, didn't think he would do complicated things, and he shifted to winning with simple moves. I don't know if it was super simple. I think he layered things on very effectively, and maybe that's the simplicity of those moves being layered on, standing medium punch, crouching medium kick, and things like that. The drive rush in every so often. It's taking away tools when need be. Maybe that was the way to play. And he says our team is doing really well, at least for the last 3 matches. So they'll be gaining a lot more points than they had previously when they first arrived, the 25 that they had against Cyclops Athlete Gaming Osaka.
I'll be honest, man. I think, you know, Mono is not a complicated character at all. So, you know, he's talking about winning with simple moves. I think a lot of it goes into the mentality of reading your opponent's next move, right? It really does differ between levels 1, 2, and 3 in comparison to like levels 4 and 5. So I think, you know, GotchaKun keeping it simple, looking for certain options and him reacting to it, that leads to a lot as Mono, right? You get the threat of, you know, an anti-air that leads into Oki. Very, very scary situation, right? If you played the game, like if anybody in the chat can relate, right? You played against a Mono and you get anti-aired, what's the first thing on your mind if they're already at level 4? Damn, I'm gonna get grabbed. right? Majority of like percentage of your high percentage of your thinking would be like, damn, I'm about to get grabbed perhaps, so I'm gonna hold north. So keeping it simple, definitely yielding success off of that. GotchaKun being able to apply that mental stack, just having the medals in. But looking at it, look at how many stats just overall, man. 3 out of 12. Yo, he didn't go for a single grab as Manon. That's wild. 0 from the side of Moke and 0 drive impacts from the side of Moke. Damn, that's a pretty big surprise. Not gonna lie to you. I rarely get to see that number as a 0 in any game, let alone using Chun-Li.
Yeah. The fact that there's no drive impact, when Sit Heavy Kick was presented, is kind of strange. But also the fact we see the jump-ins were not anti-air perfectly also helped out GotchaKun to get them jump-ins and allow them to get 30 points on the board. Good 8 squad walks away with 30, but at least GyoGun walks away with 10 on their side. But again, you want as many points as possible out here. When it hits half that season, 3 teams are leaving. We'll have to look at the scoreboard a bit later on to see where everything shifts and moves around, but I can't imagine that's too good for GyoGun. That's good for Good 8 Squad. We boost up a little bit further in the scoreboard.
We're starting to see a lot of the games and the teams kind of develop their strategies little by little as we go on through the first stage. But again, this is pretty much do or die. This is only going to be like a round robin just one time through, if I'm not mistaken, trying to accumulate points into the second stage. So very impressive waves coming in from Good 8 Squad with the way they've been accumulating points. Taking a look also just overall, I think they came in with 25 points prior. Now they got themselves 30. And then from the side of GyoGun, if I'm not mistaken, GyoGun back-to-back 10-pointers.
Even them with 20 right there. Not so good. And again, you want to be in that top spot, want to be above the line. Do not want to be 7th, 8th, and 9th, or you will be cut out in the middle of the season. Also, I'd like to get those cutouts right there. And can we get these shirts once again? I'm asking you, Capcom. I'm begging you. These shirts are super sick. The Akuma, the hoodie. I'd like to wear these at EVO. I know we're only a couple weeks away from the EVO play, only a few days away from Rashid. I think actually, I'm sorry, not a few days. It's a week. It's a week.
It's less than a week. We'll count it now. Less than a week. 6 days, baby. 6 days. The countdown starts for everybody for 6 days. However, if you are in San Diego Comic-Con this weekend, you get access to Rashid a little bit early. You get to play him on site. Again, I will be there along with Capcom. We'll be doing a big exhibition, a big tournament also to get people into the last chance qualifier. The winner of the tournament over at San Diego Comic-Con will get a ticket to the Capcom last chance qualifier to compete in that. But again, Rashid will be available over at the kiosk at San Diego Comic-Con. If you guys happen to be around the area or plan on visiting, be sure to say what's up to myself and Capcom, and I'll show you a little bit of Rashid in time as well.
All you know from you, Vicious, and the people out there, all you know what's up with those normals. What's up with the stand fierce, the crouch fierce? Are they as long range as Street Fighter 5, bro? It was cool because we got to see that on Street Fighter, on the actual, Twitter, they were talking about the specials. I want to see the normals. I want to see the drive rush range. I want to see the drive impact range and things like that. I want to see the walk speed. There's other things to answer. He looks great. He looks ridiculous. Everyone's like, oh, he's top one. He's top one. But I want to see the other tools of this cat right here that's going to determine how strong he actually is. We've only seen one part of him, but I want to see all of them. And again, tweet at us, let us know what's going on. I mean, you don't have to tweet at Vicious, he'll be there. You tweet at me, though. I'll be sitting at home waiting to see every little tidbit about this character.
And I would love to kind of get all of your questions balled up into one. Be sure to hit us up. I know it's at _Saint Cola as well as at Vicious FGC. If you guys have any certain questions specifically as to what you need to know or what you are looking for in Rashid's toolkit, please let me know. I will do my best to record as much footage as possible and also showcase him on stream as much as I can. So again, be sure to follow us along at social media. Hey, also we're running out of time on our battle pass. If you guys haven't done so already, this fit is also pretty sick. I've unlocked like 3 out of the 5 thus far. You guys, man, you're missing out if you guys don't get these battle passes. They pay for themselves, by the way, if you fill it all out. I'm just letting you guys know. But again, if you guys are enjoying all the Street Fighter League action, again, be sure to follow along at Capcom _esports, by the way, for all the in-depth in regards to the Japanese scene. What do we have next going up, St. Cola, after the break?
A banger. Nagoya Oja Body Star is going to go up against Hiroshima Team Itsuka. Bottom teams need some points. They're sitting at 0. They need a hero. One of these teams right now is going to be walking away with absolutely nothing. After this break, don't go nowhere. We're going to have more Street Fighter League Japan action coming straight to you.
こちらの模様をお届けしてまいります。それでは一旦失礼いたします。
待て、様子がおかしい。ここで終焉を刻む。まだ理性が残っているのか。だが今我々にとって真の敵は
Let's do it.
バイオハザードシリーズ CG 映画最新作
Welcome to Alcatraz.
最強のバイオテロに挑むのは最強のチーム
Well, it's over now.
Biohazard Death Island
勝楽勝勝利の風は気持ちいいね
And welcome back to Street Fighter League Japan 2023. We are not done with the action at all. In fact, we have Hiroshima Team Itsuka versus Nagoya Oja Body Star. My name is Sikora. I'm doing Vicious. Let's see what team is up on the deck. First, it's going to be Nagoya Oja Body Star. All muscles all dang day with the High Priest at play. Torameshi, always flighty with the long limbs of Sin. Let's see if he gets in. Right after that, it's going to be the Hammer himself, bringing down Justice. KB, aka BNBN. After that, it's going to be the Professor, always thinking about how we can mix people with his Kim Isoniki. We saw him on the Bison, now we're seeing him out with the Mixed Master. After that, it's a lightning fast captain himself, Akira, on that Scammy Cammy. This is going to be an absolute banger. Again, this team is lacking and slacking in points, and they need everything as much as possible to get outside the bad line.
The bad line is that's the no-go zone, man. We don't want to do that. Not with this talented team, but we also have another talented team to contest for those points. It's Hiroshima Team Ikusa starting things off. The reveal of Aqua, the Magician, coming back into the league. This time with a JD, and also one of the best debuts we could ask for. It's Jazzy following up right afterwards. Is our first debut, taking a look at him, also with his Luke. Hopefully we get to see him play. Of course, it's the monkey Kichipa. He's gonna grapple you. He's got that Zangief, man. Don't slack when he's around. And of course, the captain, the Storm Kubo, with the Honda hand slaps coming in. Quite a diverse roster, right? E Honda, Zangief, Luke, and JP. There's a lot of different matchups being covered with this spread.
A lot better than previously, right? Where I feel like they focused on one archetype. There's a lot of better spread right here. And their characters are also better too as well. I feel like, you know, Honda is a big threat. But you can also say the same for the Nagoya Oja Body Star. They've got Cammy, Kim, JP, and Sim on their team. Some characters that maybe Japan doesn't have as much practice, or even anywhere around the world, because for Sim especially, not a lot of practice just in general. It looks like we are going to get, oh, Jazzy up with the loop against Akira. You see him reel back with his Cammy. First time we're going to see Jazzy finally play. He said, oh, no.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, like, I feel like Akira, the only time he would be, you know, having that kind of expression is if he called the order wrong, because majority of the time it's like if you're playing Street Fighter 6, you should be ready for Luke at this point. But I'd imagine we're gonna get those words translated with our pregame interview with Akira. Taking a look at the previous performance from the young Body Star, he had to face off against Tokido not too long ago. We saw that excellent play with the stand jabs, shutting down Cammy's approaches. We saw that, and I quoted that over on Twitter as well. The exact purpose of it. That was introduced like about 15 days ago, and Tokido brought it out for the last Street Fighter League episode, right? So going into it, Akira, he's made a very obvious point, right? He's talked about how there could be a lot of pressure because of the fact that both of the teams don't have any points yet. right?
That's a difficult thing, especially to lose in such a resounding fashion, being in the anchor match. But now he's in the beginning position, and Akira says, you know, we will win though and come back with a point, probably meaning multiple points, but it needs to come back with something because they are at the bottom with absolutely nothing, just a plain donut, no frosting, no seasoning. And I would assume that Jazzy is looking to get points
please,
as well.
do not do that. Donuts don't need a seasoning.
But
I mean,
no
we can talk about frosting and toppings, right? That's fine, you know.
Yeah.
We can do frosting and toppings. Seasoning, please don't. That at that point it becomes a bagel, right? Like technicality-wise, it becomes a bagel, right? I don't know. Like,
oh yeah.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't talk about food, St. Cola. God, come on, man.
It's hard. It's really hard.
I'm dying out here.
All right, so Jazzy says he didn't think Akira would come, but the team order, he was picked first. So he, as you pointed out, did not think Jazzy was going to come up the bat. It's difficult because this is all blind picks, so you don't know who's coming up. You have to be ready and prepared no matter what comes your way in the first half of Street Fighter Japan. But he will do his best either way. I feel like he's like a momentum-based player. I feel like he either steamrolls or he steamrolls people. So it's going to be difficult for him if he can't surpass, you know, the options that the players present. We saw that previously with Tokido, as he's having that light punch, buffering, drive rush right behind him, or whatever confirms he would like to have. He better have an option. Jazzy, though, he has been a recent superstar in Street Fighter. We see him do work in the later parts of CPT and doing some work at like local tournaments, but he's always been a strong competitor. Just needed to have that breakout moment. I think top 16 was his like breakout moment. Street Fighter 5. I do think that, you know, like there's a lot of like undiscovered players in all the white parts of the world that are getting their shine, and Jazzy's like a big representative of it. Now it's the time to really put your money where your mouth is. Out here at League, this is a big ass. You're going up against established pros, people that have been at the league for a long time. We have a team riding for you. It's something different. Even though he's a Shoto master, this is still a different format than he is used to. So I'm curious to see what he's going to do for his first, you know, game. I've watched his streams, and he has that laissez-faire kind of like, oh, I'm just chilling, kind of vibing. I hope he's able to turn up my volume when need be, when it's time to grind. This is Street Fighter League, bro. Like, you got to get some points for your team because y'all ain't got nothing in your pockets.
When you were talking about watching the streams, were you referencing Jazzy or Akira? I actually didn't get to hear that part. Whose streams were you watching? Jazzy? Okay. I'm gonna need a link to that. How can we find Jazzy on Twitch or YouTube? Because I need to follow him. I think there's a lot that needs to be said in regards to how he's been performing, or at least how he's been preparing for Street Fighter League. So I'll get that from you eventually.
I you up. He switched from Twitch to you, or he switched from YouTube to Twitch. But here we go. We're not gonna go in just yet.
This guy Akira, he's messing up the lobby, man. He was either Akira or Jazzy that messed up the lobby, but that's just how it goes, man. We're still getting used to it, right? There's a couple of hiccups production-wise, as well as with the players. There are such things as human error. There's no modern versus classic controls in regards to setting up the lobby, so we apologize. We are getting them squared away. Don't you worry your sweet little heads, chat. We got games coming right your way in just a bit. But yeah, talking about Cammy versus Luke, we had seen that literally as the Vanguard match in the Good 8 Squad versus GyoGun team battle. We saw that through the hands of Kawano as well as Mizuha, but the only difference is now is that Jazzy is taking his hands off of autopilot. He's going to be going into classic controls. Akira pretty much doing the same thing. So with that in mind, I think there's a lot of liberties that Akira can take in the ground game, take a little bit more risks and rely on way more human interactions, right, in comparison to what transpired between Kawano and Mizuha.
You know, I don't doubt that Jazzy will have the anti-airs or those, you know, Shoto confirms that you need to have, because of the fact I've watched him play previously. And by the way, his Twitch is twitch.tv/Jazzy_669. I'll throw that in the chat later. But y'all should definitely watch him, because he, for sure, like he's really good about being like a Shoto player. Like I've seen him pick up, you know, from Akuma when he got nerfed, over to Ken, over to Luke, be able to switch back and forth with relative ease. I mean, he's a very fast learner. I think that's part of the reason why he is out here. Oh my God, round start against the drive rush. You kidding me? The back bears. Wow.
Oh, and then he dropped the light confirm combo after that. Man, pure inflation all the way through, and then afterwards, immediate deflation. That was wild. But Jazzy, in control, the perfect parry. We're gonna get the punish counter throw, it's fine. We just want to get that spacing, or at least the corner control, I should say.
With that trade, take that,
Jazz.
keep him in the corner. Bro, the shimmy, that's a stimmy one, it's done. Paid out in dividends.
Damn. This guy's nuts. I'm a fan. Jazzy J, let me see it, brother. Oh, punish counter. He missed an opportunity for the dive kick. Akira getting fully punished for that. We'll take that. Dash up 2 times over after the knockdown. No dash check. It's fine. He backs away. The confirm off the counter hit medium punch. So sick.
ODDP gets a side switch though, Akira, knowing that the corner pressure was too ridiculous to deal with. Like to get outside. Won't that light kick is supposed to be a buffer in the drive rush? There it is. I knew it, and it's going to be level 3 immediately. You know what it is, Chad. Diddle plan.
You took the wrong guy to Memphis. I think it was really smart. I think that's a very I think it's a very awkward situation for Akira after the 3 lights have gone. Right after that game plan is settled, Luke has a plethora of options to counter poke appropriately for the big counter hit or even the punish counter. And Jazzy knew it, right? After the 3rd light strike from Akira, there isn't much for him to continue taking his turn, right? He can't chain standing light kick afterwards. It's too far. I think it's too slow. So I'd have to double check that as well. I do have the app open, or I do have the game open, I should say. I don't know why I call it an app. But yeah, so Jazzy knowing full well what to do. I think it's very important, chat, that you guys paid attention to what just happened from Jazzy, right? What to do after a series of chained lights, right? You got to figure out your counter pokes from that strategy. And that was very, very smart from Jazzy. His counter poke game has been phenomenal. Even right out the gate, right? We saw the drive rush happen and immediately back heavy punch to sway his hurt box away and then get the big punish counter immediately after that. Jazzy, he's got, it's not even just the matchup knowledge, he's got the mechanic knowledge down to a T.
The Can you believe this guy has 359 followers on Twitch? Go follow him right now. Put the little shit on. This guy's ridiculous. And he speaks really good English too as well, so you can ask him questions. You know, so you can go in there and ask him Luke questions. But again, also one thing I like is something you see from classic players that are, you know, the Luke classic players, I should say, is that light kick, drive, rush, buffer to finish it. I didn't even know if he was going to have enough bar, if he even wanted to go for that option. He had enough bar to get that confirmed, but if he got that confirmed, he's going to be able to find the finish, buffering that light kick. And then again, as you pointed out, just the whip punishes, what to do with this matchup, and just in general, well lapped out. Jazzy is a Shoto master, and what he's pulled from Street Fighter 5, he's been able to acclimate in 6. I think Luke is a pretty easy transfer compared to other characters. We still gotta understand the system mechanics, and he's been able to do both. Jazzy with the first victory and forcing Akira to be like, bro, I gotta pull back a bit. I don't know what happened.
I think he just needs to keep a tight knit on offense, right? Once he is in a situation where his turn is over, he has to respect that, because any big punish counter from Luke could lead to so much. Even if it's not damage-wise, situationally and Oki and positioning could be so good for Luke. Like, for example, standing medium punch, if he happens to catch a normal against Akira, you saw what happened off of the counter. You get crouch jab into light knuckle, and he gets to enforce Oki after that with like drive rush, right? So there's a lot to really consider in regards to like the damage he's about to take and what happens after the knockdown. So Akira, again, just kind of reassessing what he should be doing on defense to prevent some of these initial hits from happening.
We talked about how he kind of gets ahead of himself, where, you know, he goes a little too fast, maybe too fast to the point where he's throwing out buttons where he shouldn't. So let's think about the economy of buttons and get comfortable where he can throw out those buttons. You know, things like crouching mini kick are going to get whip punished if you leave them out for a little bit too long. And someone like Jazz will not let them go for free. Maybe someone more of that walk down pressure. Use her walk speed. Walk down with the stand fierce. Don't be so obvious when the drive rush round start. But to be honest, I have seen drive rush round start not be countered. So I would be surprised too as well in that sort of fashion. So I gotta give Jazzy credit to really put that on the deck. That's just showcasing an even higher echelon of knowledge in this game that Jazzy has presented. And I like that Akira's like, bro, let me get this second and just take a breather to figure things out. But man, Jazzy is ridiculous. I mean, he's always been strong with the characters that he plays. Doesn't matter what he plays, and the quickness at how he adapts, maybe also the reason why they picked him up for his team. I mean, he just recently got picked up for team Hiroshima Team Itsuka. He was on their team, and then he got picked up for Street Fighter League. So like,
Yeah.
I think they saw that adaptation in him as he got stronger in Street Fighter.
Yeah.
そうですね。
No doubt. I mean, he played damn well. Like that was just I wouldn't even say like just the initial strategy. That was reaction, baby. I don't even think that was a read. Like he was ready for that option. Right? Like even if it was like a read, that was still such a proper punish afterwards. We saw a little bit of nerves, also like him dropping the light conversion, whatever. But overall, man, I'm becoming a fan. Jazzy he's that dude. We're about to give him the jazz hands real soon. We'll see though. A lot of contemplation here, obviously. Normally we would kind of just go right back into the matches, but the players do here have a choice to kind of go in between matches to consult with their teams and kind of prep for the next match. But there's also technical issues that are currently going down. Full transparency, right? We have a little bit of a disconnection via the internet, so we are rebooting for both players as well as the production. So hang tight, we're still getting that second game going. But as it stands right now, Akira just got sent to the next dimension by Jazzy's Luke. At least game one, right? I think it was a very significant wake-up call for that. So hopefully it doesn't ice Jazzy, and hopefully he immediately went to ranked or something to keep himself warm. But overall, it's been quite a treat. I think Capcom had done a really great job of the transition between like Luke's from Street Fighter 5 to Street Fighter 6. I still find him very enjoyable to watch. Like I understand there was an abundance of him in Street Fighter 5. He's overly strong. But it was a marketing ploy, right? It was to get people ready for Street Fighter 6. Significantly different, right? I think this version of Luke, so sick to watch.
He's actually super fun, and he's still strong, but without being overtly strong. He just has all the tools to carry you. Oh, this is the fireball, the stand for your starter to the corner. Better round start here from Akira. Uh-oh, what's the defense like? The tech throw does not connect. All right.
I'm loving the defense from Akira. So patient, right? Not trying to overextend. The only thing he overextends is mediums, and that happens to find the mark against Jazzy. This is a totally different individual, ladies and gentlemen. He's heating up.
Getting lightning fast. And keeping it a lot tighter too as well. No conversion on the crouching medium punch. Jazzy gotta find more off these conversions again. The big boy damage. Oh God, I thought this could be a jump in. Spin knuckle, takes back the turn. Light one. Look at the space of these light kicks. Back throw though, yeah.
God
damn!
What a time. What a time to bust out. He was so far, right? Jazzy was so far away.
He's like, I know you're gonna press a button. We'll do something.
Yeah. Oh, that's tough. And I feel like it's always the raw drive impacts that people are not ready for. Oh! He might have just missed the input. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Jazzy, you're throwing it. You're throwing it, baby.
As James was saying,
oh,
like
that's it.
That's the land. You're dead. Why would you jump back when she's got CA in play?
Oof. Damn. That was kind of sick. You know, Akira was 100% ready for that too. He immediately did crouch jab and like buffered into critical art. He already knew. He had that option select planned like at least a week ago, right? About a week ago. Sorry. That was definitely plotted and planned, for sure.
Man, that CA just in general locks you down. You, if anything, is over. And we've seen Akira react to even like the Sandblast with that CA, or at least I've seen on CFN. But man, to catch that lane, it's like, please don't jump back. I mean, actually he said, please jump back. And unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. He got what he wanted. It was given to him. But man, that's unfortunate. But I do think that what you pointed out previously, what Akira needs to do is keeping things a lot tighter actually happened. And the more of that sand light kick too as well. As a buffer, started helping out as a poke, non-committal to his one, not trying to take back his turn. It wasn't his. and trying to outpoke this character when he can't at certain ranges, and made Jazzy break down. Again, Jazzy, despite being so fantastically, good at this game and well lapped out, he's got nerves like anybody else. This is his first match at Street Fighter League Japan. Akira's been here. He said, "I'm from this neighborhood. You're just a tourist."
He hit him with the rush hour tool. He was like, "Pretend you're a tourist." I am a tourist, fool. That's what he's feeling like right now. Jazzy, he's starting to get acclimated right now. It's the introduction to the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how it goes.
We're gonna come back right here, but again, I like this play from Akira. Honestly, he's playing fantastic. If I'm him, I don't switch up a dang thing. Barry's fantastic. Some drops from the side of Akira, I'm sorry, not Akira. From the side of Jazzy, that maybe would have led to something a little bit closer in that final round right there. That maybe would have been better for him, but overall, Akira just steamrolled him. From Akira, I don't change up a dang thing. Jazzy, though, got to get the nerves on point. Got to look at the bar at the bottom, and that's part of it. The mental stack, as you mentioned, it gets high. You start forgetting the character or the player has options. Don't look at their bar. You forget that they have certain things they can do, certain things that you cannot do when they've got CA and things like that at play. Even round start Fireball got jumped in on, and that was dangerous. Yeah. Jazzy go for that risky option. I mean, we've seen Akira take the skies continuously. Like, that guy loves taking the skies more often than not compared to other players. And it's not just like dive kick or hooligan, it's just literally just jumping that we saw like in Street Fighter 5 out here, Street Fighter 6 too as well. So gotta watch out for those options that he is going to resort towards.
Right, I think just there's a lot of consideration when it comes to Cammy's approach, right? I think one of the strongest tools that she has, obviously the dive kick, but being able to sniff out some of the fireballs with the regular jump, it's just going to lead to so much. One of the biggest factors, other than the dive kick, is that people kind of talk about, it's not necessarily a positive, but it's something that needs to be talked about, is her damage output, right? It may not necessarily have the most impact damage-wise, but I think for Oki, that's where her true strength is, right? Being able to land some of these hits and continuously apply pressure, whether it's the strike throw game or even up above to bait the throw or bait the normal in the grounded footsie game. That's pretty significant, right? She's definitely a steamroll momentum character, and we talked about momentum a lot in regards to these past couple of matches, but if you've noticed in the game of Street Fighter 6, momentum is super important, right? Especially with the drive gauge system. So with that in mind, again, we are still queuing up between these two to get their final game going. A little bit of technical issues, but man, I'm still thinking about the line you said earlier, man. You're not a league player, you're a tourist, man. Like, I'm telling you, man, I love that song. I would work out to that song all the time, by the way. I love the Black Panther OST. The soundtrack was so sick. But anyways, they are getting themselves ready. There we go. It's going to be game 3 between Akira and Jazzy.
We're in there. Final game between the two. No waiting. We're deliberating. Oh, the reactions, the OD spin that goes through the fireball. Backed up, probably to look for that just option. Just in general, now the dive kick. You can't throw in a single sand blast. Unfortunate.
Whoa. Forward throw. Apply pressure after that. You know what I'm talking about? We said it earlier. The grounded footsie game. If you guess correctly with a jump OD dive kick, hey, the risk reward totally in Cammy's favor. Damn, I'm telling you, St. Cola, it's so good, right? It gets away from throws. The only thing that truly beats it is a meaty, and it has to really be a meaty because she can't take to the skies.
Absolutely true. He spins both bars to get the knockdown, but does not approach, does not press. Dive kick coming in again. Jazzy's been trying to harass with a crouching meaty kick, and it's been stuffing and stopping that. It also stops Jazzy from leaving the corner with that anti-air right there. Oh, God.
Was it
did
ready
that for the bait, I believe.
That's correct. She had the bait, but he dropped the punish. Oh, boy. Help. Are you dead? No, you're hella dead. Akira's looking at the camera already. You're hella dead, right?
Oh, he was spraying, though. He was making sure. He was like, just to make sure. Please, no magic pixel out here. It's all reality. The reality is Akira takes it over Jazzy Man, that last prayer, I was like, please don't let there be a pixel. Please don't let this character stay alive. He's got level 3 at the bottom. It's CA. I will die. All right, please. But there we go. He takes it in the end. Them dive kicks definitely saved the day, along with that corner pressure play. And of course, level 3, or actually CA also has helped out Akira to take down Jazzy. Jazzy had a great start, but just couldn't keep that momentum. And I think the stress of this game, the stress of actually League, too much to handle right now, it looked like.
Yeah. There's a lot to consider in regards to like what you need to do against Cammy, especially in the corner, right? We saw that big option. I think like it's never, I genuinely don't think it's ever worth trying to go for a throw against Cammy in the corner. Just because of the threat of OD cannon strike, right? Just OD dive kick is such a problem. I think what Luke can do is enforce a little bit of a threat with counter medium punch because it's +1 on block, right? I think working your offense from there initially can help like reinforce the point for Cammy to stay on the ground, right? Once you start to like layer the offense off of that first, it's totally fine. If the Cammy happens to spend OD on wake up with OD cannon spike, I think that's kind of okay in comparison damage wise, but I'd have to check. I'd have to check again. I'd have to go to the lab and check in comparison. Like what do you get, right? Like, you know, OD cannon spike, the dive kick, punish counter into a full combo. Would that do more damage than like an OD uppercut, perhaps?
It's got to be a little bit more at least. There's extra amount, right? I mean, ODDP doesn't do too much, I would assume. But either way, I agree with your assessment. I agree with you having to switch up what you do up in the corner. Like, I see Min-RD using like light punch every so often. That is minus, but you get in that space trap mode. You have back heavy punch too as well. I think you can rotate as Luke, but we didn't see those options. There is going to be Cammy taking them points. And finally, some points on the board here from Oja Body Star. Right.
No matter how you spin it, we're still going to get points. That's just how it goes, man. This is going to be great. I don't think we've seen Oniki just yet, if I'm not mistaken, from the side of this, from this team, right? So I'm very excited to see what he's been up to. I have seen him on Twitter. I do follow him on Twitter. I'm really curious to see how he spent his time mastering this character. I think Kimberly right now is in a really funky space, right? Like, she's like smack dab right in the middle before she even gets to level 3.
I agree, bro. The fact when she gets to level 3, she gotta equalize. She gets the same damage as other characters. Before that, you want that damage, you gotta be in the corner. You gotta get them overheads and resets. You gotta have the genius set work when it comes to the spray cans to land. And of course, you have to switch it up so continuously that it's hard. You have to get them there. Her neutral, it's okay. Kind of stubby buttons, but this is one matchup that I think she could do pretty well in. You know, the teleports kind of, you know, putting face on the likes of JP and the mixed game too as well up in the corner against JP where he can't really handle it. And you can find some fantastic punishes if you lay down the spray can and bait out OD Amnesia. I've seen some nasty ones up in the corner. And actually, Oniki himself is a mixed master. He went from, at the very end of Street Fighter V, from Bison to Urien, despite the fact that Urien was weaker, because he was like, you know what? I like mixing people with ages. It's just more fun.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious to see what he's going to present with the Kimberly. I don't think we have a lot of Kimberlys in general for at least the current roster of Street Fighter League. I'm looking through everybody right now, and I think he might be the one. Is he in the Matrix right now? Is he the only Kimberly main that we have? I think so, dude. Huh?
I think so.
Yeah, and you could even hear like the kind of the tone that Aru and Hamiko were kind of talking about. They're like, Kimberly, huh? This is a character that actually, he's the only Kimberly player here in the roster.
I still think this is going to be difficult for JP. You know, when I played JP for a while, that corner pressure was ridiculous. Once you get put up in the corner, call corner. It's over, bro. Like the constant resets and the OD Amnesia not letting me out, just getting harassed continuously. I don't know if that has changed more that JPs have gotten a better handle on neutral, you know, being able to play with that medium range game, stand medium, crouching medium, stand fierce and things like that, be able to whip punch her buttons or a little bit more on the stubby side. But if things do get bad, Aqua does have Cammy. He does have Cammy that he has practiced. It's not as much as the JP, but he does have Cammy that he has at the ready. And what if that's going to be the thing he pulls out? Oniki says first time he is playing, he wants to make Aqua regret. Aqua says he is ready, though, for this Kimberly. No matter what the matchup is, he is ready for this Kimberly.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think a lot of the world has been ready for Kimberly since the release of the beta. I think, you know, there are some significant changes that she had suffered towards her wake-up options. I think she can get oppressed pretty convincingly, right? There's not like any real threat. I've tested it out myself too with a plethora of characters. Anytime I play against a Kimberly, my first thought is, if I land this knockdown, I'm just gonna pressure her with meaties. So what is she gonna do? She doesn't have a reversal option other than a super, right? So I think that's a lot to really keep in mind from like a basic understanding of like what to do against the character. So I guess like the mission overall from Oniki or for Oniki would be like, how would you get your wheel of offense going sooner than Aqua does? And what's actually kind of interesting now that we put this in perspective, JP doesn't have to play up close, right? I think more often than not, JP would want to play full screen against Kimberly. So I think in that regard, I don't think there's going to be too much for Oniki to fear. But we'll see. I mean, Aqua has a strategy for all aspects of the game. So
that's true. Actually, you know what? There is one fear. That's the slide through the ghost. That is definitely one fear. You know, it's the shirt. It's like no fear. There's one fear. That's the slide. I just recalled that. My PTSD, bro. Oh no. Harper gets the throw. So we'll have to switch up what he does. Maybe having the face of the ghost will make that come through with the zoning tactic, because full screen is going to have to be the way to play with this character, no matter what.
I think he might be right. But Oniki, again, he's looking for the options to check Aqua, but hasn't been finding the success just yet. He's just going to forward throw. The big interruption from Aqua. Wow. Very smart.
Still up in the corner. Backs up for the anti right there. Can't leave for free. It's a shine special right there, but no mix just yet. Doesn't even need an impact.
And this is that situation we talked about, right? Slowly trying to chip away the drive gauge. Drive rushing on through. Aqua gets smacked with the drive reversal. He has to hold this.
That's so nasty. That's actually hella nasty. The dash up throw did what I had to do. Yo, Hiki with the mix, the corner pressure again, ridiculous. It's not about the damage, it's about the continuation. Wake up level 1 to back him off. Full screen, absolutely fine, but he's ready and steady with that anti and the fall to the Azuna drop. Can say kick, follow up 2 as well. Level 3.
Boy. Liking this. I've never heard her speak in the Japanese voiceover into the level 3. That sounded really cool.
Yeah. Okay, really pensive. Okay, OD slash gets through the teleport, at least on the startup. I like that he's doing some of that bar. Finds an anti-air right there, the pickup, not the full pickup, but let's confirm back to full screen departure, out and about, level 2. Let's see what it do. Oh, he wasn't parrying in the bar.
I don't know what that was. He got caught. He got caught mid-air. I don't know what the option was from Oniki. I had missed it. Like, oh man, I had blinked and he got hit.
That kind of game. Sharp anti that crouch fierce. Doesn't always reach. Oh, the super. Don't drive rush in. Back off.
Damn, and Aqua still manages to move in after the departure. Command grab reset. Aqua, he's got the sauce. Oniki definitely lost it.
That's unfortunate that crouch fierce not working out against a jump light kick. Jump light kick, jump heavy kick from the likes of JP are ridiculous. Don't get it twisted. But the fact that it beat that crouch fierce anti right there, he can have to space himself out better. Aqua's on game point.
Man, Aqua's doing a great job of stuffing out the options from Oniki, at least from upstairs, right? I think even if there's like a neutral jump resets or just even like certain pressure situations where Oniki tries to jump in, Aqua's made all the right decisions thus far. Oh, that was so funky. That drive reversal was way out of touch.
All right, one more levels on with the knockdown. Air to air right there. The defense from Aqua, as soon as I say that, got to open up. There's that teleport. In plus the tech though does not connect. Unfortunate. Aqua can still close this out. The sweep off the feet against the crouch, fierce the whiff, and another whiff on that throw. There you go. Oh, we can get a lot more aggressive, even in the mid-screen. See more of that drive gauge. The harass.
You can see Aqua. He's kind of reluctant to go for the anti-air options of crouching heavy punch because of the different looks that Akira has shown to him thus far. So awkward too on the punish counter. He got the throw. Damn, he gets the juggle off of that. That was sick on the force down. That was really well played from Aqua stuffing out the teleport. Double departure, round trip.
Overhead. Ooh. Christine, that cranium blessing, that don't lose it again. That's gonna be the win right there. No more necessary. You got that dog.
Brother.
I don't know if it's a
that was
or a
the
full
meatiest phantom. Damn.
Oh.
You get a full combo extension off of that? That was messed up. The anti-air is there.
Crazy.
Oh. Oh. Are we gonna spend the level 3 early? We sure are.
We are.
Aqua. Gonna get a lot of damage on the table, but also a decent amount of drive gauge back. A little bit of an exchange going on. And the corner positioning, this is so important. The trade-off. Better for Oniki now, out of the corner.
Yeah, that full corner push, you have that big lead. At this point, you don't need those levels for defense. It's all offense right now. You have him caught up in the corner. Drive rushes then. The command grab again. That's gonna be the win. Aqua sneaking it in. You're not gonna react, it's gonna be a wrap. I get it. There's so many things to worry about in that corner. But as a closer, he said, I got that grip, bro. Right there. The ghostly hands.
Damn, and look at that. He's doing it right now. He's doing it again. He's doing it again. I gotta say, man, I think he layered it pretty well, right? I think he's layered his offense pretty well with the Psycho Phantoms multiple times over. Like, there's so much to think about, right? You have the low version, you have the overhead version. Straight up, like, Aqua did a fantastic job of applying different looks. Same with Oniki. I think it could have gone either way. Oniki had different looks in regards to the air approach. Aqua, however, I think is a little bit more potent with different looks in the grounded approach, especially with the projectiles. So really well played from Aqua. I would have loved to see maybe like an attempt at a teleport a little bit more often against the Psycho Phantoms, but it's difficult, right? I think having a feint as a possibility really makes Oniki pensive towards that option. He has to have like a solid read or at least a really big reaction towards it.
You get reward, but you're definitely right. And when those moments, didn't happen when there weren't ghosts on the screen, he'd drive rush in with a crouching medium kick anyway. So he'd switch up that different look in the first place, making it hard for Oniki to kind of get going and flowing. And one thing I want to see is going to be the reversals. Yes, 100 on the side of the JP player, and they weren't OD amnesia. They were wake up level 1s, and he utilized that bar just perfectly. I think that's a really good sign. And maybe shifts the matchup a little bit. Using that level 1 instead of like OD amnesia, that even come into play. But using that level 1 as a form of like, get off and get some space in this place. And also level 3, we saw at the end, to get that big lead. He didn't need that, just went on full offense. His meter management was fantastic. Oniki's wasn't as good. We don't really see level 3 so continuously. You really have those hit confirms in level 3. But man, just Aqua, that's a better gameplay that we saw previously. We didn't have to fight against Sako, so I definitely get it. But damn, this is the layers upon layers that you have in the corner with the overheads and stuff over and over again. Good stuff from Aqua. He was thirsty for that W.
Really
I see you, Aqua.
Overall, really impressive, man. If there's any sort of highlight too from those stats, obviously the 1 out of 10 in terms of successful throws tech, I think that's great, man. Take the throw, take it all day. Like that's totally fine for him. It didn't lead to a lot, I guess, with Kimberly, which is kind of a problem. I feel like, man, it's just it's tough. It really is tough. But overall, the defense was there. I think his offense was far greater. Going into the third match, I didn't see the spoiler just yet. Who's coming up? Banbaban, right? Banbaban showing up for Nagoya Oja Body Star. And I almost wrote that in my notes, actually. KB. And then, of course, it's Honda time, baby. It's Storm Kubo, the captain, coming in up to the plate for Hiroshima Team Ikusa.
Ooh, Storm Kubo versus KB. This is a matchup that JP players definitely hate. On base level, actually, I would say like maybe less these days. They've gotten better about, their normals and stuff like that. But the headbutt is a pivotal part of any Honda's game plan. And that gets you right through the ghost. No problem. Also, I think OD Ghost might hit headbutt, but If you're trying to throw out the normals, even the face will get caught with the headbutt continuously. So I've just been barred like that is problematic. So we're gonna have to see what Aqua did previously, use that as the blueprint of being able to switch up that style, make it a little bit more ambiguous. But it's hard. Honda gets you up in the corner, saps away your health. There's no more bar for OD amnesia. And it looks like KB says our team got the opponent correctly, or guessed the opponent correctly for the anchor match. So they're ready for this choice. They're hoping to win this time. So I'm guessing if they were ready for this choice, they're ready for Storm Kubo to come up, they have a game plan against Honda. But you have a Honda that's like, and this is no insult to Honda players, is a very, very smart Honda player. He gets that lead, he puts up the wall, it's hard to break him down. We've seen people have difficulty, whether it be on CFN or even out here, even though they got the wins, to break down the wall of Storm Kubo.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm pretty confident in the assessment of this matchup. I think JP can take it down against Honda. I think he gives Honda a hard time, just based off of like watching the performances of mostly like the Japan scene and also some of like the NA scene. I'm not gonna lie. It's not even just like parrying. If we take parry aside, right? If we kind of like stop that, I think there's a lot of normals that JB can present in neutral, or at least kind of like react to headbutts against. I think his crouching heavy punch is a very great tool to stop obnoxious butt slams, because it covers so much of him above his head, like right above his head. And then overall, we're looking at like the approach. Like Honda is gonna have a hard time against Psycho Phantoms. I know that people had mentioned he can OD through Phantoms, but like there's also the threat of the feint also, right? So that bad boy being negative double digits is a huge problem, right? So I think I think this is like one of the classic matchups where Honda might struggle against, because there is a projectile involved. There's multiple projectiles being involved now with JP with different looks, right? And what's crazy about it is if KB manages to start things off with projectiles and he happens to set up a departure during one of his strings, Storm Kubo technically can't just headbutt through anything, I feel like, because the threat of the departure too.
Oh, the lockdown. Okay, I see that. Also, he does have the air throw, so maybe they can catch butt slam as well. Hey, maybe, you know, maybe it's better for JP. You know, early days, that was like the original thought process, but this game has evolved so much that maybe it's better for JP. But Storm Kubo says he didn't get the Nagoya Ojibani Stars order correctly at all, but he's ready to win it regardless. So I'm ready to see what he's got. You know, he's like, bro, I did not expect this. But you have to expect that you have to fight. At least you have a half a chance of fighting a JP on this team. You have two JPs on that team. You're gonna fight. You have a half a chance at least of fighting one of them. So be ready for it. Again, I'm sure he's fought a million JPs, especially Kakuru, who is like the premier JP player right now in the entire world. He has shown something different. Not that Lord Venom isn't strong, but we're talking about like, you know, like results, I guess, currently. But Lord Venom has also been doing work too as well. Don't look at it twisted. EU, Lord Venom has been work with that character. We've seen Brian F. Bro, he is insane. I don't know how he does it.
Lord Venom is like innovating the character. Dude, it is truly chef's kiss. Like if I ever want to like kind of like relax and enjoy myself, you know, like I feel like when you watch Lord Venom, it's like ultimate relaxation mode on some like high classical stuff, right? Like you're like listening to some really dope records, right? You got some nice alcohol on you. You're just relaxing. That's what it feels like to watch Lord Venom's JP. It's like, ah, yes. Let me get Masterclass level 10 JP on the board, please. It feels good. He's so damn good, man.
Neutral.
He's so damn good.
He's so good. Yes, delicious neutral. Yes, but I mean, like the sequences, like his sequencing in general is ridiculous. Like it's so hearing no consistently, and like just the fact that he like sequences up and so many variations, it's crazy. He's so good. But you know, Broski, Brian F. There's a lot of JP players that have innovated this character, making him a lot stronger. Ice as well when he plays him. Let's see who's nice out there in Japan. Storm Kubo again. KB for anchor match. Big parry. Wow.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense immediately afterwards, because you're not punishable, so you can expect your opponent to take their turn. So it's very, very smart for Storm Kubo to kind of just let that parry rip. Speaking of letting it rip, man, the butt slam. KB not ready for it. The overhead, down forward heavy kick, finds the mark
Again.
twice over, but no, he didn't get the full. He didn't get a conversion off of that. Ugh.
Rushing with the throw. Free hugs. Anti right there with the crouch spears. Fantastic button. Put him outside the skies. With the headbutt up in the corner. You're getting pressed. OD amnesia. They find a way out.
Also, this colorway on Honda is pretty damn cool. I did not see this before. Oh boy. Oh,
He
damn.
carried that, took all the bar.
Just went for it. Departure time. Are we gonna get a mix? No, he's just going for damage. No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Oh
That
yeah.
killed?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't think that was gonna kill.
Sneak in. I feel like more people have snuck in like level 1 at the end of their conversions at the end of the corner instead of going for resets. Because of that damage potential. Departure as a backup.
Ha!
It's nasty.
Damn, dude. That was kind of disgusting.
This character's insane.
This guy's insane. Yo, Bon, please.
Mm.
So sick. Oh, hell. Loving the pressure. Yeah, we talk about some smart Honda play. We talk about the pressure. We talk about the wall, man. Storm Kubo is definitely an oppressive beast. Oh, punishable?
Nothing there, though. Unfortunate. Amnesia again. We're in mid-screen. Just gets it back, though, but that's absolutely fine. The perfect parry. Gonna kill that bar. Scales and damage, but not in drive gauge. Departure. He caught the backdash. Bro, you are kidding me. Level 2, you're still in the blender. Oh my
Dude,
God.
he's still hella
This man
burnt out,
free.
too. He went for the stance? What a madman. And KB, all right, he still got the fist pump. He still got the kill against Storm Kubo. But this guy walked. No, he ran like 3/4 of the screen with the sumo step. What is happening?
That's gotta be an error. That's gotta be an error. Or panic. I don't know what that was. But back to KB though. Bro, the sequences, the setups, the perfect parries, even though you're not landing damage, you're getting follows that land damage to the drive gauge. That's what he's looking out for. Put this character in burnout because, okay, JP is the Baron of burnout. Level 2 will put you in a difficult situation when you're in burnout, eating up all that damage, and maybe that's what led to that panic situation. It's like, bro, I ain't got nothing else, bro. I don't know what I do here, bro. What do I do? How do I fight back?
He's gotta channel his inner Yokozuna, right? He's gotta reach the highest chamber of brainery when it comes to Honda play. He needs to access that final gate and put everything on the line, right? That's how he plays. You know what? There's too much brain. I think you gotta play with your heart. I think that's what's happening. I think you gotta play with your heart, man. That's how Storm Kubo gets his W's.
That is, you know what? That's really true. Where are the butt slams? Go a little wild, not mild out here. I feel like the economy of headbutts, yes, they've been parried, but like, you know, if you're sprinkling more of those butt slams, more of them headbutts gonna land. I need to see more of that oppression in the corner session. I need to see more of that drive gauge getting killed from the side of Honda and not the reverse. Come on, Storm Kubo. Like this damage, it sucks to get the corner push, but like, sprinkle on those butt slams every so often. Oh.
Love the interruption there from Storm Kubo, chasing him down airborne, but no, it was KB who actually got the air-to-air exchange. Here's a Peter clean. Oh, it's too far for the grab from Storm Kubo. Damn, what a punish counter. I love that. Fierce just covering all the options. Ochotro, perhaps? No.
Okay, look at that grip. The feint. Still finds a jump in. Yeah, a little more aggression here from Storm Kubo, and it's working out in dividends and more anti-airs. Now the departure go for free. Not that it was previously so consistently, but now he drive rushes in with the throw. I like this. More for momentum and movement from the side of Storm Kubo. He's bringing the storm. Tornado season.
Damn, the reactions are there, KB. He's got to go for a reset because of the scaling, right?
Oh, for sure.
No, he just wants to side switch. Oh, you dirty man. The reset for the drive impact. That was so sick. That frame kill advanced level. preparation for the OD headbutt. We gotta see a butt slam, right? No, there was a counter hit. Storm Kubo pressed the button. It wasn't the win button. Anti-air, that's all she wrote. Hot damn.
Crouch fierce. Fantastic. I like the walk back, and just like that, we get a counter hit. Departure out. Try to push him back there. We'll see the stacker step right there. Like, I wish you press the button so I get a counter hit combo, bro. Even punish counter. Perfect parry aside of KB. Level 2 again. Heavily scaled. We get the drive impact. We stick it in. Yes, sir. Departure follow-up. Drive rush. Impact again.
My
Kill that drive
the
gauge.
damage. The drive gauge is near empty, dude. That took so much bar.
It's out of gas. That back throw, was it worth it though? Caught him coming in. Oh, that is damn near the win right there. Full screen.
Oh, he has to hold all of it.
One touch.
He has to hold all of it. No, he went for the neutral jump. I don't know what he wanted, but I'd imagine he was trying to bait out either level 1 super or OD amnesia. Storm Kubo falling susceptible to his own play. Instead, it's KB. He's got the patience, man. He wasn't in a position to risk it all.
That's very smart. That's a good point though about the look out for the level 1. Like we see level 1 continuously from Aqua be a reversal. And KB was just like, I'm just gonna wait for you to neutral jump. I have more time to rotate my options and take a little risk. Fine reward. It was one hit anyway. But man, KB with those drive impacts to sap away the drive gauge. And we talk about how parry is maybe not the best option against headbutt. It is when you can seek drive impacts in to kill that drive gauge. We see that continuously with that level 2 and that corner push 2 as well. KB is so smart in that aggression that he has to route things back immediately from Storm Kubo. Really good JP play. Game point him.
I love how the commentators, both Aru and Hamiko, are highlighting the benefit of perfect parry right now. I think it's super important to understand that it can get you very far in this matchup. Like, even without it, KB's doing a pretty fantastic job of figuring out the options, at least on offense, of what Storm Kubo wants to do. We're starting to see a little bit of the limitations that Honda has, if you will. Right? I think having OD headbutt being great against the strike option, it is super susceptible to throws, right? So it's been kind of beneficial for KB to kind of throw that out there, no pun intended, against Storm Kubo more often than not on this wake up. Here we go, game 3 now.
Let's see what happens. That defense is gonna be tested again. Headbutt as an anti right there. OD amnesia immediately. Waits a little bit, then gets a side switch. No throw, but this is still good. KB backs off, wants to get that bar built back up. He's actually going to spin it right now on the OD amnesia. Does not want to be harassed anymore. Gets back to full screen. Oh no. And the butt slam lands in a combo.
Oh my god. He was ready for it, man. He's not going to take that lying down. He's not going to take that free chip damage.
Tag. Still, yeah, drive rush in with the throw. There you go. All you needed was a little bit. And stay the offset point is Storm Kubo. However, I have to wonder if KB, if he would have played better with his bar, if it would have been as free as it was right there. See, he does now. Drive rush back throw. Okay. Departure. Perfect parry. Push him there. Actually goes for another departure. Oh, you're in burnout. This may not be good for Storm Kubo.
This burnout could be so pivotal too for KB to get some of this damage. And talk about the fate too. There's so much reluctancy from this side of Storm Kubo because of that. I love that challenging the departure with the headbutt. Anti-air is there. And look at that. Yeah, he staved off burnout very, very well. Minimal damage taking.
Survived into level 2, but KB couldn't get it confirmed into level 2. So it definitely makes sense to just back off and use it right when the moment presents itself in the right sort of way. The feint and play. Careful of these departures, KB. They've been clipped with the headbutt. The stand medium punch comes in. The drive rush, the throw to as well. Patient pressure, drive reverse. Offensive style save for the corner. Wow, that could have been level 3 in the victory. Don't leave this character alive. Not burnout, bro. You won't survive. Uh-oh.
Oh, send help.
Oh, for who though? What defense?
throw the climb. Damn, what a stop, dude. No shot. KB, he's calling Storm Kubo out on all of his defensive measures, man. Jesus.
I ain't gonna lie, I want to go back to what you were saying in terms of using your heart more. You need to see more of that wild, not mild. I want to see more of the butt slams to even test, you know, some of this JP play. You know, get in with the OD, maybe get a side switch to test out the crouch fears. These jumpers are working out. Perfect parry.
How, dude?
Bro.
He's got it
Well,
down pat, dude. Like, there's got to be a stat for perfect parries, right? There has to be. Oh, damn. Over to the corner. This is what I like to see. Yes, sir. Apply that damage.
JP in the corner, still a huge threat to air right there. Anti-air. Oh, God, look at the bar at the bottom. Crouch fears. What? It was at the tip of the cage? Are you insane? Level 3? Oh, no. KB gonna take it over Storm Kubo with the pickup to put him down. And that was at the tip of that crouch fears for the finish. Brother, you kidding me?
That was a masterclass on Honda defense, right? That truly was a masterclass in Honda defense, man. There was really some impressive plays and callouts in regards to what he had done combo-wise, especially with the level 2 super art. But I gotta say, man, his defense was perfection. It was truly perfection, in my opinion.
Perfect parry, and then be able to have the falls with level 2, and the fact that I think departure was risky in some cases, but for the most case, honestly, it was leading to so much corner carry, extra damage, locking the character down as you pointed out previously. When we started to smash the departure, full screen would lock Honda down, and when it was out, it was Storm Kubo holding back. I would like to see more of Storm Kubo in terms of the butt slam. We had not seen that option at all unless it was in a combo. I would like to see that being, you know, just put in just to test the reactions against KB, but I don't even know if that would have mattered. I mean, could have been air throw, crouch fierce anti-air. We saw the perfectly spaced anti-air to finish things off. Bro, that made me rethink the whole matchup right there. Congratulations, KB. You got me thinking like JP beat Honda. Actually, I don't. You got it, bro.
You, man. I think he does a fine job. I think he does like a pretty damn good job against Honda. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what the discrepancies are between like these two. I'm just basing it off of like the kits that both characters have. I mean, I know it's kind of like not really a thorough analysis of it, but just I don't know. I think like even not playing either of these characters and like watching enough of it, I'm thinking to myself, all right, I think JP has a good amount that he could stop. Right. Man, KB, he exemplified that to a T, man. That was a really impressive play against the Honda. There's a lot that I want to see like Storm Kubo kind of do in the future. Personally, I think you also had a valid point of perhaps butt slamming, and then taking your turns right after that, of course being plus, but I think overall, like, the drive rush approach is fine. Even like drive rush with a light normal to kind of like bait KB to throw out some of the the higher recovery normals. I think that's been happening a lot lately in the meta of Street Fighter. I think there's been a lot of people kind of like baiting out with drive rushes. They'll do like drive rush throw to stop the momentum, drive rush crouch jab to stop their momentum, and like bait for the whiff punishes. Maybe you know, I would love to see kind of like that happen with Storm Kubo, but overall, man, I think KB, I think that's like against someone like him, I don't think it will work for too long. So back to the drawing board for Storm Kubo.
100%. Torameshi complimenting the team's movement, said it was awesome. If Torameshi is complimenting your movement, you definitely done right. You know, Torameshi is the master movement with that sim. Akira says that his teammates were great. The order wasn't ready until today, but it seemed to all work out though. Either way, I mean, even though the order wasn't ready until the day of, you know, it's already hard to ask because everything's a blind pick, but it seemed to work out just fine for them. And you know, we already saw you know, going back to Key, seeing his movement with JP, using drive rush for crouching medium kick too as well. I like seeing his movement. Like, I don't like seeing JP players stay in one spot. I hate seeing it. I love seeing drive rush, crouching medium kick when you're mid range. I like seeing more mobile. That's why I like watching Lord Venom. He's barely ever in one spot, it feels like, unless he feels like he's comfortable enough to zone, and he breaks up that momentum. Same with Kaku, I feel like, also too as well. KB said he wanted to go for the anchor. Akira said he wanted to be the anchor, but he said KB said he's like, wait a minute, I got this. Leave Sumo to me. Sumo's not that strong. All right. Dang, I like the energy, KB.
I'd much rather have JP face off against Honda than Cammy, to be quite honest.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think Cammy struggles in that match. I'm saying it right now, chat. I think Cammy might get smoked by Honda. I don't know, man. It's pretty good. Butt slam be pretty good against dive kicks, but that's just me. Anyways, we are getting the rest of the interview coming in from Nagoya Ojo Body Star with their significant W for their first W, right? 30 points on the board. That's exactly how you kind of want to do it, right? You don't want to get like those 20-point ball games. You don't want to like, obviously you don't want to lose. It's the closest thing you can get to like a sturdy pace. Looking at what Oniki had said, he had mentioned that his movement was receptive and wasn't very good in regards to the JP matchup specifically. So Oniki, I think he's already figured out some of his weaknesses against Aqua. Again, he was the only one that got shut out 0-2 on the team. But there's a lot of promise, I think, with Oniki, the way that he's been playing thus far, and also just like what he's been up to on social media in regards to his practice.
I agree, and that's a character that you don't get to typically see. So maybe running sets with Kim, besides this guy named Jackie, I think. It's like Jaccy. There's not that many Kim players, I don't think, all around the world. So, you know, that's already going to help him out too as well. You have a rare character. Just have to get things in order. But he's happy his teammates covered his loss. And KB says he thought the opponent was going to be Storm Kubo. He's ready for any player, didn't matter. He's ready for anybody that came up from Hiroshima, and that's a good sign. He's like, I'm ready for anybody that sets up to the bat, bro. Don't matter who you send, I'll take him down. And I like that energy. I like that game planning mentality here from KB. Practicing any matchup against any player, against any style. And it worked out well. We saw that in the Storm Kubo match against Honda, against Storm Kubo's sort of style. And you want to use the time and see the opponent's moves. And I think in the first of three, I think even fine in the first of two, but the first of three definitely helps out. If there's any shifts in momentum that Storm Kubo would like to present, you have more time to acclimate. Not that it was necessary, but it definitely would help out in the mindset of like, okay, if I have to lose a game, it'd be okay. I can take that data and move on with it.
That's like what I kind of want to see in the development of some of these players. I know it's still kind of early, but there's still how many more games for everybody to play, right? Everybody has to play each other at least once. We have 8 teams, so I'm not going to do the math on that. But there's plenty of time to get themselves acclimated to what needs to be done. But what's really, really important is that you have to figure out how your character needs to play for certain matchups ahead now. Like, you can't dwell on like, oh, how can I play against Aqua again? For example, for Oniki, right? Oniki can never be like, how do I play, or how can I better myself against Aqua specifically? Not anymore, at least. They have to like focus on getting to second stage before they even have that kind of thought. Now they have to focus on, as a team, who's coming up next on the schedule and figure out what the team order is going to be per every single game. So with that in mind, again, that's the mind game going on with the first phase here at Street Fighter League Season 6. A little bit of a shakeup, I should say. In comparison to what we had done previous years, right? We had the home and away system for the last, like, what, 2 years, I think, Tinkola? About, like, 2 years, right?
Yeah, about 2 years. Yeah. Even more than that, I don't know if the previous seasons were like that, too, as well. I'm not sure, but, I mean, that's been, like, the staple point of this, and the Switch is now having the blind pick. We'll get into that home and away squad system in the second half, but for right now, you have to be prepared for whatever comes your way. And maybe that's to help equalize things, because we're so new in the meta of this game, and the game's so new in general. I mean, it's only the second half of or second month, maybe month and a half, I guess, of this game. So it's to help equalize things, I assume. Akira says he notes this. He's like, we didn't have another winning, or we don't have another matchup for a while. We're glad we can walk away winning, get some on the board. I gotta ask, can we get the parries on here? Those were so pivotal that I almost just want to see how many parries were happening from KB. We saw the drive impacts 100%, 4 out of 4 right there. Yes, that was pivotal in draining that drive gauge, but I want to see the parries, bro. That was so pivotal in stopping the Honda oppression from happening. Yes, it doesn't get the damage, but it got the drive gauge, and that was more important. Also, that corner carry too is pretty good as well.
Yeah, no doubt, man. There's a lot to really consider in regards to what you can do after a perfect parry. I think overall, going for the repositioning has been very common. I think for a lot of the meta, at least from the North American scene. I think also from EU. I think there's a lot of players who would not mind getting the perfect parry into like maybe like a side switch or something. Like you would see that kind of happen more often in the corner in certain situations. But I'd have to take a look at some of the matches too in regards to like how often statistically you would see a perfect parry come up. Like it's the same as drive impact, right? Majority of the time you'll see drive impact kind of happen in the corner, which makes sense. But yeah, I think overall I would love to see perfect parry maybe as a stat. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people kind of go for, to kind of reiterate, a lot of people kind of go for like the positioning with like a back throw because you're already getting your damage nerfed significantly, right? So you might as well fight for the positioning and fight for a better situation offensively instead of just going for pure damage and then just kind of like dumping out your meter for no reason. So unless it's gonna kill, honestly. But yeah, something to keep in mind, especially those in the chat. I know people are kind of like up in arms in regards to the whole perfect parry situation, whether they should buff it, whether they should nerf it. Listen, man, more often than not, you're not seeing it become a very, very big thing for your own personal matches. But as it stands right now, I think it's all right the way it is, man. Getting that damage nerf or like that, yeah, that damage scaling after a perfect parry, I think it's totally solicited, man.
It's fine. And other characters are implementing things within that too as well. And you can kill drive gauge too as well. That's not nerfed at all. What's also not nerfed is Exo Primal. That's out right now. I've actually played it. Super fun. You know, I thought it was gonna be more like a Lost Planet sort of thing, but it's its own thing. It's pretty fun. And of course, you got the sick crossover costumes that, you know, Capcom, can you please put them in? There's Ryu and Guile, and I hope that we get to see other characters get mechanized.
Yeah, I think the entire roster should get mechanized, if I'm being real with you. I was a big fan of Mecha Geef in Street Fighter 4, and also like the machine movements, the little mechanical movements, in terms of like the sounds. It was so sick, man. I love that. Can we have that back? I would be super grateful. We had it back in 5, right? We had Mecha Zangief back in 5. He had his like wings also. We had Mecha, like, I guess hybrid Akuma was really cool from the Versus franchise. So when do we get these, by the way? I want to see all of these little peripherals come out, or these little souvenirs come out for Street Fighter 6 already in the States, man.
I'm waiting, but y'all will not have to wait for this next match. It's going to be Team DetonatioN FocusMe versus Saishunkan Kumamoto. Remember, DetonatioN has no points to the name. Saishunkan Kumamoto looking to gain more for themselves. It's going to be an absolute banger for our final match of the day. And I can't wait to see who's going to take it. Again, as many points as possible. Gotta be above the line to stay fine. Only 6 teams will remain after the halfway point. Not even at the halfway point. Take a quick break. We return. More Street Fighter League Japan action coming right at you. Don't go nowhere.
I am the Advanced Artificial Intelligence Leviathan. Welcome to Bikitoa Island.
Let's do it.
バイオハザードシリーズ CG 映画最新作
Welcome to Alcatraz.
最強のバイオテロに挑むのは最強のチーム
Well, it's over now.
Biohazard Death Island
じゃ早速始めるか。よしやるか。いい戦いになりそうだ。実践的なのがいいんだよな。実践ってのもいろいろだが、この街で始めるならストリートからだ。
Welcome back just in time for Street Fighter League Season number 6. My name is Vicious here with Senkola. This is the match to behold. It's going to be going down between these two rival teams, and we'll tell you exactly why. This one's the big one. Let's take a look at our first team. DetonatioN, FocusMe. Oh, you already know what's coming. It's the attack on Heavy Tank. It is none other than Fudo stepping up to the plate first. Then it's the young man, the trickster, Good old Johnny Takeuchi. We got the Shifu Jinrai coming in third. It's Nauman who's got the can on deck. But again, we talked about the rivalry, the big one between DetonatioN as well as Saishunkan Kumamoto. It's the meal ticket, Inabashi Zangief, the grappler main. I can't wait to see this interaction. Look how serious Inabashi is for this particular matchup.
We're gonna get super serious because the sun shines on one team. Saishunkan Kumamoto comes up next. The sunlit rising star Sasmo out here on the DJ. Always got that rhythm and groove going on. After that, it's the prodigy, always staying golden, Higuchi on the gouch for the talk the town recently. Over in the States, Little Devil himself, Modern Man, Shuto on Muscle Mommy, Murisa. Last but not least, it's the Brute King himself, crowd him on that JP, Nemo. Saishunkan Kumamoto, one of the slain out teams of last season, are out here to take the crown this time. But man, oh man, I feel like Team DetonatioN got a chip on their shoulder. They need points, but more importantly, they don't want to be the final team cut off. All right, they're so close sometimes. Like last season, just at that tip, but they weren't able to get it to pass that line to get the qualification to playoffs. They don't want that to happen again.
Yeah. All right, Senkola, this is my main question. Do you think we'll get the right order between these two teams to get Itazan versus Nemo? Do you think it's going to happen?
I don't think so. That's too beautiful.
No.
That's too perfect. There's no way.
It has to be. It has to be Anchor versus Anchor, right?
Only one way. Only one way. But for right now, for the starting line, be John Takuchi going up against probably his worst matchup on the other side of things, Higuchi's Guile. I mean, we talked about this before. Maybe it isn't the worst matchup here for Jamie, but it's one that a lot of people suffer with because of the projectiles at a base level. You know, the difference of the projectiles in terms like perfect, Sonic Cross, OD, the variance is difficult to deal with, but he does have dive kicks, so maybe it's not the worst in the world. He does have Bakai, the Fireball, so he gets those level ups, and we've seen John Takuchi get level 2 expeditiously and work around that. Like, maybe he'll get level 3 and 4 sometimes, but he focuses on level 2 because that will get him through all the projectiles. So maybe it won't be that bad of a matchup, because I think Jamie doesn't do that bad against JP. But Guile may give him some problems, but maybe not that bad. What's your prognosis?
So I kind of mentioned this earlier. I was actually playing this matchup specifically a few hours ago. I spent this matchup in the lab significantly. Obviously, the way that Guile wants to play is pretty lame. It's a projectile type of lane where he's going to be chucking out a lot of projectiles against Jamie, and that's always going to be like the biggest problem. I think it's not going to be too difficult for Jamie to get that at least level 1 drink to at least be a problem for Guile. This is where Guile actually has to reconsider his boom placements and also his spacing, right? Because one successful OD dive kick leads to so many opportunities. The Jamie player can either go for an opening with Oki, he can opt to get a drink. He's definitely going to be getting damage, right? So that's going to be like the biggest issue I think that Guile needs to be aware of. I genuinely think that Jamie doesn't do poorly against Guile. It's just a matter of the player experience. John Takeuchi, I don't know how much experience he has against the character Guile at this degree, but on paper, and chat's going to be kind of nuts about this one, I genuinely think Jamie can fight Guile well so long as he has at least 1 drink. I genuinely do, because having access to that target combo is so pivotal. That standing light punch so much further, being able to cancel into target combo, or sorry, chain into target combo is so important. And I think overall, having a 5-frame standing heavy punch with 0 risk behind it can be pretty important to kind of like advance him forward, especially if there's like a punish counter behind it. You get a full target combo extension if need be. So yeah, I think Jamie does have a pretty good kit to stop Guile. It's just a matter of getting that first drink.
He might be like a matter of like a workhorse too as well. Like what character has to work harder in this matchup? Even if it may be like okay for Jamie, like the fact that Gao can change up the boom placements and has fantastic normals behind it, which Higuchi is very apt to utilizing the normals more than the boom sometimes. He's fine with running that game plan. That may be difficult. You know, there's things that Jamie can do. I think the Sam Fierce is fantastic. I think Jamie's neutral is not bad. Sam medium kick is good. Crouching medium kick is good. You mentioned the stand light punch. That's good after getting a drink. They're not bad, but Gao's normals, along with the conjecture of the fireballs, makes him a very big threat. But I do think that, you know, this isn't the worst thing in the world for Jamie, though. I think that having those drinks and having that pressure after drive rush, especially after drive rush stand fierce, can be deadly. One good read with the dive kick could be better off than getting hit with an OE fireball. And you might actually take a few hits here and there just to get that drink to get things going and flowing, right? You might, as a Jamie player, be like, I'll take the damage, bro. And we've seen John Taguchi say, I'm going to forego getting any more drinks if I have you in the corner. Safe jump setups all day. If I hit that light punch DP, I'm going to have that safe jump setup ready for you up in the corner and loop you over and over again. Last time he played, he wasn't able to get anything started. So I have to imagine he is a lot more prepared. But this is Taguchi, who's probably the most prominent Gao player in Japan right now. As Daigo has not really touched that character lately. It's all been Ken on his side.
Right. So we'll see how that plays out. We're slowly starting to get ready. I know chat's being a little bit impatient, but you know, some things are out of our control. Yes, this is currently live. Don't make me say the names, because I'll do it, man. I'm that guy today. But I'll tell you what, man, this is exciting. I really want to see how much work John Takeuchi has put in with his character since the last time we saw him. He was not able. Damn, don't juke me like that. I hear the song. I hear the music. Taking a look at the previous game from John Takeuchi, right? He faced off against Yamaguchi, and it wasn't even the fireballs that actually took down John Takeuchi, right? If we're talking about the main thing that Guile does have, it's pesky fireballs. That wasn't even the case in regards to his matchup prior against Yamaguchi, right? So again, we're prefacing it with Jamie can definitely fight Guile. All right, I promise. I'm sticking to it, right? We'll see if, you know, the Family Feud survey comes to fruition. If that prediction comes through later on in the meta as it gets developed, I genuinely feel like, you know, that I have faith in Jamie. I'm not even a Jamie main. I'm not.
I agree, bro. I think Jamie's better than what people think. It's just he takes a lot more work to get going and flow compared to other characters where their game plans are a little bit more stratified and a little bit easier to access. Jamie needs strength for damage. Jamie needs all these like technical things to get going up in the corner. But when it comes to fruition, when it all comes together, he is a threat. Every character in this game is a threat. And I do think that like the meta will always be shifting. It's not a good idea for people to be like, oh, this is how it's going to be forever. Jamie's gonna lose to fireball characters, and that's how it is. We don't know. It's like the second month of the game. Like, relax. Like, we don't know. Already today we saw JP handily be on the players. I've seen JP players bellyache about that character continuously, and we've seen the strategy against that character. We've all seen Kakuru switch up what JP should be doing in matchups too as well. So we're constantly seeing shifts in things that will change until we see this game in 6 months to a year. We're not going to see the full meta expand, and then we're going to get a patch probably. So always keep an open mind.
Man, you juked me twice. That's twice now.
Dang.
You got me.
I'm ready. I'm
shook twice, man. I was already ready to go. I was already ready to go. We've had our turn at the buffet line. We had our plates ready. I'm coming in with 2 plates at the same time, baby. Like, I'm ready to eat. You guys ready to eat? I'm ready to eat, baby. This is the new tech, right? This is I could tell that the Street Fighter League production guys are JP mains. They got the feints going. I appreciate them, but no, they're diligently hard at work to make sure that the connection is successful. There are a little bit of tech issues in regards to the internet connection, so bear with us. The production is doing a fantastic job of trying to keep it intact. But I will say, they also kind of juked all of us too, right? They're pretty good at their throw baits. You know what I'm saying? They threw it to one screen, then back to the other. I teched. I definitely teched.
I was pressing. I'm not even playing. I was pressing. But bro, you can't keep me away from a JB matchup, bro. I love watching JB work. JB players. You know, I watch like Automatic when he's streaming. Obviously, JB been doing a lot of work. JB's won tournaments with that character, if not got top 8. Will he play him after Rashid? I don't know. We'll see what happens. But you know, he's made waves with that character. And there's been is it Sojujin, who I've seen recently do a lot of work. Shadow Mark as well. There's actually quite a few of Jamie players in general around the world. I believe in that character, bro. I believe in that character. He's got some cheap stuff.
Yeah, man. One of the things that people kind of neglect to mention is what happens in level 3. Command grab is a problem, for lack of more aggressive words. Level 3 with Jamie, that jink level, that command grab is a problem because standing medium punch, it is +5. You are able to link a target combo starter. That's a pretty big deal. And on top of that, if you're in level 4 by that time, guess what? You don't have to rely on Bakai anymore unless you want the safe jump. You could just go right into target combo, light palm, ender because you're going to do extra damage off of that extra palm. So it's a little bit of a problem, a lot to consider. So we will see. We'll see how this works out. I'm very, very curious to see if. So remember, chat. If the Jamie player loses, right? I don't want to hear a single "I told you so." I don't want to hear it. That just tells me that Higuchi was just way too prepped, or John Takeuchi's strategy didn't work out today, just today. All right,
Today.
just letting you know. I'm letting you know. That's my option.
You know, you see. Bro, but you see, like, when a character wins something or gets like a top spot, it's like, you see how cheap this character is? You see how cheap? You see this character won this? Top 1. I saw that happen recently when Guile won a tournament. I was like, bro, he's good. I agree. I think Guile's fantastic. Maybe he's top 3, but like, you can't rely upon one instance, one tournament, one match to deliberate everything around a character. You gotta get more data points. You know what I'm saying, Chad? So, but I know the street's gonna be something different if Jamie wins. If we see Jamie winning, I will take to the streets and be like, you see how cheap Jamie is level 2? I'll get V-Trigger install. Thought we left Street Fighter 5, bro. Thought we left Street Fighter 5.
In the FGC, dude, so many people take it to extremes. Like, we'll get like one really, really bad matchup, right? We'll have one really bad matchup and it goes topsy-turvy, right? It goes the opposite direction of what everybody expects. Then everybody's like, man, this character's broke. He was broke the whole time. It's like, man, we're all sips. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, we're all working with extremes. I'm like, yo, man, there could be some fluctuation within like the formula. You know, there could be a little bit of deviation from the current, like, you know, statistics. It happens, man.
That's true.
So we'll see.
Yeah, you know, like, I feel like also like with the character diversity, the character playstyle diversity, that makes all this come into question even more so. There may be some playstyles that work out better against some certain other playstyles. Now I guess we get to see possibly.
No, I wasn't
not
checking.
yet, but we'll see after.
I knew it, bro. I literally sat back and I was chilling. I'm like, nope, I'm not pressing any buttons on this. I knew you set yourself up. You set yourself up on that one. I was hella
I was so
ready.
close. It was a good transition too. Damn.
I was so ready, brother. You guys got shimmied again. Give me some ones in the chat if you also got shimmied. It's all right. St. Cola, I'll put St. Cola's one right now. Hold on, I got you. Boom. That's his. I need to see it, man.
Y'all better not say 2. I better not see a single 2 up in that chat, bro. All y'all definitely got shimmied as well. We just want to make everything perfect. And we want to give you all the best sort of match out here. We're just trying to make sure everything is connecting in the web sphere out here. Okay, we just want to make sure we get the perfect match so we can derive that right sort of data so we can get the right sort of, is Jamie actually a threat? So that the content creators can make their proper YouTube videos. You know what I'm saying? Is Jamie a threat? Whoa.
I had a long talk with a lot of the pros that came through to Houston Gaming Expo this past weekend. It was Punk, Shine, Justin Wong, Kizzy K. We were talking about like the different like aspects of like the characters and how you can kind of approach with them, right? This is not gonna really talk about like the particular matchup that we're about to experience between Jamie and Guile, but I think there's a lot of expression with a lot of the characters that you could really utilize. I think there's a lot of different routes that every character has, different looks, if you will, to kind of perform and find success. And it's really refreshing, man. I think there was a lack of that in the beginning of Street Fighter 5, at least for like the first couple of seasons. Like once you figured out a character, how to play them optimally, that was it. But in tune with like the mechanics as well as Street Fighter 6, I think it just gives everybody so many more options and expression when it comes to like combo enders, what they want to do for either OK or damage, approach to certain situations. I think Street Fighter 6 has done a really great job of like keeping it extremely open-ended with
それを見た上で
every single character.
竹内ジョンが何を持ってきたかっていうのは
It's true. Yeah, I think even on defense too as well, like the defensive options and things like that. It's a lot of variety in what you can rotate. Parry also coming into play too as well. We've seen with JP and how even the characters work around that too as well. JP getting more if he has level 2. Then maybe other characters, going for positioning in some cases. How you delete drive gauge for some characters is going to be different, and how people will aim for drive gauge too as well. I was watching Automatic just burn through people's drive gauge with Sim using Yoga Flame as like a meaty situation, and more than other Sim players were using that, and I was like, well, that's really cool that he focuses on that aspect, and he focuses on aiming against people's drive gauge more than other Sim players might think about. And then, some of the other Sim players are like, I'll use my levels down at the bottom for like secret arts as like a form of anti-air, right? Like for Fudo, he'll use it for anti-airs. For Mr. Crimson, he's like, I need that for damage, so I'll pump that up for damage, either level 2 or level 3 or whatever, if need be. That variation is there, and that's why I don't want the drive gauge to get, like, or the drive system in general to get nerfed. I don't like all this, like, let's tone it down, let's make it cost more. I want that fun aspect in this game. Maybe punish, counter, drive, rush, maybe, or counter hit. We'll see. That's kind of an extreme, but maybe that would be better. But other than that, I don't want like big nerfs, bro. I think this game is in a fantastic spot. I like the expression, bro. Let it rock, let it cook.
Buffs only. Dang it. Buffs only.
Kind of
all right.
Yeah.
Everybody cooks in this. It's a giant kitchen, man. Street Fighter 6. It's the world's kitchen. Let everybody cook. Remember that, all right? You heard that here first. Street Fighter 6 is the world's kitchen. Let everybody cook. All right? I'm gonna need Capcom to type that out, put it on a frame somewhere, on a picture, on a poster, and put it on your wall, okay? English, Japanese, what have you. Both languages, all right?
All of it. You see all the characters cook too, bro. We saw Lily do work out of Brussels. I even talked to Luffy. He was like, bro, I'm learning Lily because he thinks that she does good against like Guile and a few other characters that can clean up Manon's bad matchups. Well, maybe he tries to find like a main character where he sticks to Manon. But so like everybody can cook. Maybe some characters take a little bit more work. But even in matches where it feels like they're maybe lacking, it still feels like the game system allows them to cook still. You have to do more work, yes, but we saw Manon do good against Chun-Li recently, and that's not a good matchup for Manon. And it worked out in that first 3 right there against 2 world-class competitors. So like I do think that this game is super well balanced. And it's the first iteration. That's what excites me, is that this game is balanced outside the gate. First iteration, every character is a threat. And you know how every character is a threat? Because everybody's complaining about every single character. I've seen complaints about Lily, about Keith, about even Kim. It don't matter who it is. I've seen complaints, and that's a good sign. Everybody's strong.
You ain't wrong. I mean, like, I even heard complaints about the mechanics themselves. Like, I feel like, we were literally seeing it in the chat every so often. But to kind of keep you guys up to speed and full transparency, we are having some technical issues. I mean, more often than not, we'd want to see gameplay, but that's just how the world works. Even our weekly scenes have these kind of production issues as well. We don't control the internet. We do pay the bills to keep the lights on, but every so often we will have these problems, and it is live. So obviously I'm talking to you, especially you, Dynamite Pete. Get out of here. I'm sorry. But we're working on it. We're working on it right now. I promise you. We're calling all of the ISPs in Japan. I have Capcom on the line in one hand, and I also have the ISPs in the other hand. Even though you saw my hands earlier. But yeah, we don't control the internet market, unfortunately. If we did, we'd be pretty big. We'd be like overlords, right? But as it stands right now, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to kind of think about what needs to be done in regards to like this matchup as well. We've kind of laid it all on the line for the most part. I think overall, we talk about like the player accolades as well. I don't think we got to highlight that as much. I think Higuchi had such a phenomenal performance towards the last 2 seasons of Street Fighter V. I think John Takeuchi was slowly starting to climb up there as well with his Cody for certain matchups. He wasn't much of a Rashid player as much towards the end of it, but I think one thing really needs to be noted. I think Higuchi's understanding of the game of Street Fighter and his ability to learn Street Fighter, whatever mechanics may be, I think he's done a fantastic job of figuring out those fundamentals.
He's done a great. I mean, we saw that CPT. We saw that at Street Fighter League. It's definitely. I feel like it was last year, especially even more so. Like, him and Shuto, like the new guard, the next generation, showcasing what they could do and really putting the team on their back. Like his understanding of the mechanics, but also how people want to play. Like I remember going to Japan, playing all the Japanese players, and being like, "Yo, Higuchi, he's the best Street Fighter 5 player right now, bro. That dude's a robot." And we saw it in the stream too as well. Higuchi, you know, playing Punk and just making these mechanical reads. I remember Higuchi doing the bazooka knee, minus on block, and the CA right after. Caught 2 people with that. This dude just understands how to play Street Fighter from the mentality, the game mechanics, down to every iota. And what's wild is a lot of people might think, oh, bro, it's Street Fighter 6. It's don't even have that same sort of heat and flame that you had in 5, a brand new arena. And it did take Higuchi a little bit of time to learn the mechanics a little bit. I feel like he took a little time to grasp it. He himself had even said that. But he looked fine last time we saw him play on CFN, and now when I see him in his streams, he's back to his jovial self, which you all can also follow. They both stream, by the way. You should definitely follow Higuchi.
Yes, dude.
Higuchi does speak English,
It's
by
so
the way.
addicting
He's a
watching
fun
them play,
cat,
by the way. Dude, they're so cool, and they're so entertaining. Like, I really enjoy it. Like, you know who else is really entertaining? Shuto, dude. Like, Shuto and Higuchi being on the same team is mad broken. I think Nemo is a mastermind for having these 2 young talents on the same team, and as diverse as that team is too, it makes it even better. That's also another example, right? Shuto is also one of those cats, one of the younger generations that kind of picked up the game of Street Fighter very well. He's figured out how to learn the game at such a phenomenal pace. He was mad struggling though, like earlier in the seasons of Street Fighter 5, but something afterwards, it just clicked, man. I promise you. There's just something about, there's something in the land of Japan where they're just figuring it out. But to be honest though, what I really enjoyed is that it wasn't alone. It was definitely under the tutelage of the current pros in the game, in the region, right? I think that's what we need to see a little bit more often, man. I think we need to see it, especially in the NA scene. Some of the big pillars, some of the big leaders kind of come together. We see Menor ID kind of doing that right now. I know Punk the God is doing that with his Alpha Academy. Idom does it pretty often on his chat as well. I want to see more of these leaders kind of step up and kind of guide the new generation, despite them being like, you know, young and technically they are the new generation. I would love to see that kind of like passed down. I want them to kind of show other people how to learn the game. I think that'd be super important.
And help intermediate players, you know, improve too as well. You know, some of the people that you mentioned actually are really open to playing sets. Like Idom, if he's not doing much, he'll be like, yeah, I'll play anybody or whatever, or who wants to come in the lounge or whatever. He'll play damn near anybody. Same with some of these Japanese cats. They'll also play all these other players too as well. Japan is really open with just playing with anybody in some of their streams and running sets with the people around them. So I actually think Higuchi is one of those people that actually runs a lot of sets with a lot of the Japanese players that are intermediate to, you know, high level. If they're not getting ready for league or something else, right? If they don't have the day planned out to fight Daigo for the first of 20, the first of death, they'll make time to play out with other people. So I do think that we need to see more of that. That's going to make the entire scene grow. And I do want to have US keep up with the EU in Japan. And it's only going to happen if we all come together as a group effort up in this game. We're once again getting everything settled and situated. Again, I want to see this matchup. I want to see how Higuchi operates with Guile. I know people are like, oh, boo, zoning, but guess what? Higuchi doesn't always rely upon zoning. He likes to get CQC, you see, up close and personal with the buttons that are fantastic from Guile. They tried to nerf this character, and they didn't really do that much to him from the beta. Crouching mini kicks off, fantastic button. We'll see who's fantastic in this match as it finally started. Let's go.
We're at the promised land, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
You made it.
Oh, by the way, I was messing around with this earlier, Sincola. Perfect parry with Jamie against the Sonic Boom into sweep is so good, man. To get that first drink, man, I love that thing. Oh, target combo. There we go.
It's in level 2. Time to work. There's a dive kick you pointed out. You take that anti-air right there, but still, I like the idea. Losing too much health.
Oh, he tried to do a back fierce? I don't know what that was. He's trying to fight the fireball. Man, Higuchi's picking all the right spots to get some of the counters going. Oh, jump back jab! I'm telling you, man. It's not about the matchup on paper. It's about the players. And Higuchi is built different.
Look at the air throw. Too far out, though. I like the idea. Gets a sip of the sauce to knock down the OD. Sonic Boom back to the zoning play today. The buffet of booms, perfect parry. I like that you see Higuchi kind of recognizing that's happening and tries to go for the drive rush. However, the dive kick lands. Silver sip, level 2, driver burst, back it up a bit.
Are you gonna drive reversal off of this? No. There it is. Yes, sir. I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
Oh, but he was ready to drive impact. Higuchi's built different. And to be fair, right here, oh my God, what a time to jump out. Forget what I was gonna say. That was excellently played. Help, JT. No longer in burnout. What attack?
Look at this defense here. Staying alive during burnout against the character is ridiculous. Gets a follow-up, a swing, level 3. Drive rushes the Bakai, lands.
Oh,
You're a
he committed
demon.
to the overhead. He's not finished yet. Oh no, not like this. I'm telling you, you could see the potential in this matchup. The drive impact is there. John Takeuchi.
I was so afraid of a jump would happen at level 1. Getting the anti, maybe not would have killed, but still. Gucci with the OD flash kick backing up a bit. Now using some of the Sonic Wave to lay down the pressure, but again, John Takeuchi walking him down, get the dive kick in. That crouching jab, as you pointed out, leading to so much. Target combo, OD, take a swig.
Oh, taking a little bit of risk. The roundhouse there, not connecting all the way. At least he got a hit. Wasn't a punish counter, no drive rush behind it. It's fine if you're Higuchi. Slowly making his way back. Upside down kick does catch John. Anti-air's there. No, sir!
No.
That dive kick is good! It's all good, baby!
Time to train. Learn your lesson, old man. Pop-Up's gonna get the 10-side kick. We go for the, oh, he did it! The drive impact. Level 1. Back him up. Yeah, had to do that. Get some space up in this place. We're so caught for the corner. The in-air right there. Trey, he falls. The Sonic Cross.
What?
Bro.
What did that hit? Oh, he could go for a chip sequence. No, he's a level 1. He can't. Oh, level 1. This guy, Higuchi, is made of steel, dude. His nerves are made of steel. A little bit of an error from John Takeuchi. He tried to go for the automatic reset. And I don't mean the word. I mean the player. He went for the reset off of the level 3, but he missed it. He messed it up.
That's unfortunate. I do like the impact, though. Having some awareness of the drive kick to the top, but Higuchi, though, is the clutch master. The blade, trying to bait him out to maybe get a dive kick, or jump in, I should say. There's a dive kick right now. No sauce.
Oh. The exchanges is just John Takeuchi getting a little bit impatient. No doubt, man. That is definitely the speed checker, right? Sweep. No, he goes for the fierce into uppercut ender. He's not going for drinks, he's opting for damage. Uh-oh.
But now what do you do? You walk him out again. Keep him in the corner as much as possible. Do not have to chase this character down. It's almost over. I think an OD boom might kill. The jumping will. Either way, the impact is the play here. Caught him lacking. Oh, God. Plus frames.
Oh,
Try reverse, waits and baits new. Got to finish your plate, though. Oh, side down kick. Probably to catch a low crush in the first place. That point. Shooting.
So tough. Oh! Big punish counter, get 2 drinks, yes sir! He tried to go back high, but I think he was holding forward prior, hence why he got the uppercut and he got clipped. But speaking of uppercuts, that's great news right now for John Takeuchi. Gonna drive reversal again, finding the mark. We got solid puncher installed.
Swing out the baby booms. Cross guard DP, nice and easy for this character. And burnout. But now the option, so that's a bar at the bottom. He's getting harassed so much it doesn't even matter. Stand meter kick, air to air right there. Yeah, you get the OD dive kick, follow up, backs up. Impact again, gonna get the win. John Takeuchi. So I'm still in. It's not over.
I'm telling you, man. It's the real deal Holyfield. But one of the biggest obstacles he has to face is that low medium kick. If he has that drink, I think it makes it a little bit more, a little bit easier to handle perhaps, but maybe the dive kick. But we'll see.
Yeah, I feel like crouching mini kick also can catch it, but you're right, the dive kick can land against it, but this is full screen, this is overhead, and this is dead. Higuchi has been using the fireballs as a bait the entire time. Perfect carry the fireball. That's A-OK. I'll drive rush in for that throw play, and that's a wrap. Higuchi setting up for success.
The best thing I like about that too is Higuchi's adaptation to what John Takeuchi wanted to do in response to the fireball. Not just like trying to parry it, but even so, like taking to the skies. If you don't have that dive kick, Higuchi, he sees the green light. He throws the boom and he's already ready for drive rush for the appropriate punish, man. This guy Higuchi, he solved every problem before he's even actually faced it. Does that make sense? Like he's already theoretically planned it in his mind, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's taking it to the lab already. This guy is a machine. I'm telling you, man. There's potential in the matchup. We saw it. John Takeuchi took it to the limit. But there's only so much a human can do against the machine.
Higuchi's style is just difficult to deal with. We talked about how in 5 Higuchi, you have to be prepared for Higuchi. It's not just guile. You have to be prepared for Higuchi himself and his changeup, his speed of booms, what he does after drive rush, after he sees you do something on defense. You have to be prepared for that player. And Higuchi himself is a lab rat. You pointed this out. We've seen it also in the Oro matchup previously when he was playing Street Fighter 5. He labbed that out. I went to a stream. He was like, yeah, man, I labbed out how to deal with the fireballs. I wouldn't be surprised if he labbed out how to deal with Cheney as well. Successful anti-airs was not all the way there from the side of Higuchi, and that's fine because dive kicks coming through is something different to deal with. And he sometimes had Sonic Blade out, so it's just to get caught and get got. But man, the flash kicks OD were landing in terms of reversals on the side. Higuchi had 3 out of 3. But man, it's overall Higuchi though, bro. The stats to me, more about those just dealing with the perfect parries, dealing with the defense on the other side of things, and blowing that up. He's robotic.
I'm telling you, man, look at that stat of 3 out of 7, right? That's the anti-airs. You mean to tell me that that number was just a figment of my imagination? Was that all just like jump-ins from John Takeuchi? No, man, I'm telling you, those were dive kicks, brother. That stat is a pretty significant one at that, because it gives Jamie an opportunity to close in the gap, or at least get that knockdown against Guile and get that momentum. It's a lot, man. It's a lot to consider, but listen, man, I have to hold it. Higuchi, he was just a better player today. That's just how it goes. All right. So this right here is, I'm gonna tell you why this is unfortunate right here. We don't get the Nemo versus Itabashi Zangief match. We do not. I repeat, chat. We missed the dream matchup. It was supposed to be Nemo versus Itabashi. Dang it.
In a weird way, I kind of hope both these teams kind of survive, because I do want to see that match up in this new era of Street Fighter. Like, it'd be sick to see, but because it's blind pick, you know, they're just kind of deliberating on what the other team might do and what they should do without knowing who's going to come up, because the home and away system is not right here. It is going to be Nauman with the Kin, Nemo with the JP. It's going to be a fantastic match either way. Curious to see how this is going to work. Dragon Lash, really good against the projectiles, whether it be the feints or the fireballs, because it cuts right through. I think that I've been looking at the Angry Bird watch to play this matchup. He thinks that Kin has a slight advantage in the matchup. I think drive rush stand fierce. Having a long range drive rush is going to be fantastic. Dragon Lash also gets to the projectiles, and corner pressure in general is great for this character. You have to call it the OD amnesia, but overall, Ken puts you in the corner. Is difficult to deal with even for the likes of JP. However, this is Nemo, the Brute King himself, who plays a one-player game. If you can put him in that sequencing where he doesn't get anything out, could be over for Nauman. We haven't really seen the Ken come through here from Nauman. I'm curious to see how he's going to operate with these characters. He likes these aggressive characters. We saw it, you know, Evo Japan when he was able to win that with Sakura. We saw it at League, maybe not to full effect with like Luke and Ken previously. I think this style of Ken might fit him.
So one of the things I did want to point out is Nemo actually was looking out for Zangief. He was trying to call out and summon Itabashi. He had a weird feeling. He's like, I was hoping, I was ready for Zangief, but it's not him. I'll do my best either way. One of the things that have been kind of occurring in the current meta between Ken and JP is the usage of meaty fireballs. Right, at certain distances, Ken can use meaty fireball to apply pressure to JP for free, at least as a meaty. And it's a pretty significant approach too, because like even after that, you could confirm it into like a heavy normal, into big damage, and repeat the process. You could even use OD OD fireballs from a closer range to keep a frame trap going, etc. So I kind of want to know if one, Nauman has practiced those situations over and over in the corner against JP, and then two, I want to know what Nemo's defensive options are going to be in his current wheelhouse. So we'll see. Again, Nemo has played 1.5 million versus fighting matches to figure out what defense needs to be done. I'm sure his offense is up to snuff, and he's very, very competent in the mix. He is truly a mix master. But I want to know. I want to know what happens if Nauman puts him in that situation where he has to face off against fireballs in the corner.
I'm curious about that too as well. I've always seen his offense being as like a one-player style sort of thing where he's going to run his game plan no matter what. But when that stops, that's when he drops. We'll see what happens here. Nauman versus Nemo. Definitely want to see that corner pressure with that fireball here from the side of Nauman. Like, show me you know that matchup. Sweep off the feet. Nice. Caught the recovery. Frame kill. Gets a throw. The rush light. But the challenge from Nemo. You playing my game.
That was an impressive challenge, by the way, because that was a drive rush jab. Straight up. Oh, speaking of drive rush jab, man, Nauman's not making the most of it, but that jump is great. He caught the counter poke with Nemo. Again, Nemo is not afraid to press jab after the initial block.
You want the meaty me, bro. No vegan out here. The backboard, Nauman, bleeding. Many ways to get through. You got Dragon Last. Drive rush in with the medium kick. Reset situation of the lucky sword. You're in burnout.
Level 2, you're forced to hold this mix. Level 1, no sir, that's gonna be enough. Nemo's gonna eat that up. First round, going to the JP Master.
Dragon Lash. Okay, there's the OD amnesia. Come through the strike throw. Doesn't have to hold any of that. Drive rush with the medium kick, and again, not confirming, but Nemo's like, okay, if you're not confirming, tries to press a button, gets caught, sweep off the feet as a whip punish.
Nauman hasn't shown off any of the big counter tools against the OD amnesia just yet. He goes for a throw again. The drive impact is there. Yes, sir. Nemo stunned. I love the walk forward a little bit to kind of regain the momentum on the drive gauge. Gain some of that back. There it is. Punish counter on that. The throw attempt. Nauman not making the right decisions against OD amnesia.
Gotta put that in your wheelhouse ASAP. We've seen that too often. Too many times. Here's departures out. Crouching mini kick to walk him in there. Overhead, of course. Blessing the dome. Chrissy in the cranium. Should be able to get level 3 off this extension. Pierce, yeah, level 3. Let me see that CA. Oh, the special one. Yeah, drop him down. Clinch.
Yeah. That right there is exactly how Ken lost all of his assets. My man installed a information absorbing nano machine into Ken, right? Got his bank account, forced him to get into the cryptocurrencies. Not a villain, by the way. He's just an accountant.
Just an accountant. Took my kid up teeth.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh. Right kick. Yeah, it's with the having the DP. Corner pressure's still there. It's just we need to see more of that OD fireball as you were pointing out. Oh, the shimmy, the finesse and bless. Put this man to rest. Yeah. Nasty amount of corner pressure. But again, all that can be stopped with the OD amnesia. I want to see that and see what Nauman has as a response.
Oh, a little bit of a stagger. Oh boy, again. Man, he's missing some of these big opportunities for big damage. Loving this. You see how Nauman, he's starting to keep his offense a little bit tighter, right? He's trying to enforce some of the frame traps because he's noticing that Nemo is, he be mashing on jabs sometimes.
Prove it to him. Device, pistol slash, full screen, level 2. Let me see what it do, trying to drain as much drive gauge as possible. Oh, that was a bait the entire time. You're fine to take that damage.
Oh, man. Double drive rush forward. Man, the delay on the cost, medium punch, the stagger, the damage, he's dead. Give me my money back. Sit down and shut up. Nice.
Ken wins.
I mean, corner pressure is fantastic here from Nauman, but again, I'd like to see Nemo run the OD amnesia every so often. I know it's a grazing sort of assessment, but think about how many times that would have maybe worked against some of these frame kills, or at least kept Nauman on his toes. He's just going for frame kills. And honestly, force him to throw that fireball out, keep it hella meaty to bait it out. It hasn't been happening.
Man, neutral jump is such a dicey tool against JP because of how great his anti-air has been. But Nauman again sticking to it. Damn, but I love that punish counter, reset into the command grab instead, set up the departure in case you want to leave the corner, set it up again, enforcing that will from Nemo, being able to walk out of the corner just because of the threat of departure.
Look at the sequencing. Okay, trip the crouching mini kick, in burnout, that's a wrap. Just like that, Nemo is on set point. And you definitely see the sequencing of like, all right, if I'm gonna whip this so I can press a button right after. This is that one player sort of style that he loves to enforce as you put a, look at this. Now I'm back to full screen. Force it back off as the departure. Oh, the bait again!
Dude.
You so nasty.
Yeah, the feints counter the parry option select drive rush, and Nemo's been abusing that. Wait a minute, we're looking for the burnout. We are definitely looking for the burnout. He got it! The damage incoming, double time over. Oh my god. I'm telling you, his offense is immaculate. JP prevails again.
What fantastic play on Nemo. Don't listen to me, bro. He ain't need that defense if you got good offense just like that. Sequencing, made it a wrap. That was fantastic. The pressure him in points where it's like, this will make you press crouching medium kick. Like, to string him up and make him do what he wants to do. Puppeteering out here from Nemo was fantastic. I love to see that when you stress someone out so much that they fall to your whims. One player gameplay right there. I love to see it here from Nemo. And also, again, you know, like, maybe, you know, had it got to that point, Nemo would have had to utilize the OD amnesia. But sometimes it's good to just hold back a bit and just wait. Let the sequences play out a little bit. You have Dragon Lash. You have other ways to get in. It doesn't always have to be crouching medium kick or other ways to get. We haven't even seen run overhead or any other different sort of things besides like drive rush, crouching medium kick, crouching medium kick, maybe much not after like crouching medium punch. Not too many other buttons besides that, right? I feel like there wasn't a lot of variance with the side of Nauman, but maybe that just harkens back to how Nemo made him do what he wanted him to do. Damn, Nemo.
No doubt.
Perfect.
I really love that last sequence too, because it really forced Nauman to make a decision, right? If Nemo had just gone throughout his entire sequence, man, it would have been Burnout City regardless, right? I think overall Nemo just I think it was just checkmate scenario, to be quite honest with you. I easily think it was checkmate scenario.
Ooh, these stats. Bro, no anti-airs from the side of a Ken player. From the side of Nauman, no DPs, no crouch fierces at all. It's difficult because departure is definitely one of those jumpers, or if not most of the jump-ins. So it definitely makes sense, but you have to be ready for the departure. But I guess that also speaks to Nemo sequencing to set up where it's difficult to find an anti-air. You're worried about the ground game. He comes from up there. The Houdini, you can't even see me. Like, what happened? Where'd you even come from? Again, Nemo sequencing was fantastic, and that's what allowed him to the victory. Now we move on to the anchor match. What are we going to get? If it's not going to be Nemo, what do we get for the final match? It's got to be Shuto.
It's got to be Shuto. I think Muscle Mommy is going to be carrying all that for the points. So it might be Itabashi versus Shuto. No way. Is that going to happen?
No way.
There's no way, right? Oh! Itabashi's not playing at all. It's the big Fudo. And guess what, chat? He's using Dalsim today. He didn't use Dalsim the last time he went up, I believe, what, 2 weeks ago now? This is great. This is great. I'm sorry, not 2 weeks ago. Last week, my bad. Fudo had played DJ last week. My fault.
This is going to be, there's a little bit of lore behind this matchup. So we talked about how Fudo had Sim, but you know, he's been working on the DJ for other matchups. On the side of Shuto, so shout out to Mobridge again for all the information. And also I went to Shuto's stream to ask, I was like, what do you use classic for? Is there ever a time where you use classic for Marisa? He said for Sim, he will use classic. I mean, that's the times where he feels comfortable for using classic. So we may be seeing a switch. We may be seeing a switch. Mostly, I mean, modern has been a switch because he thinks it's more fun. He had given lessons to a VTuber for the I think it was a reject tournaments. And he was like, wait a minute. While he's like teaching her how to use the mechanics of the game using modern Marisa, he was like, wait a minute, this is fun. Let me use modern Marisa too. And so a VTuber had given him the style of this character and set the modern Marisa out to terrorize Japan. However, I don't know if he'll go for that switch. I mean, he did say that, but saying it on Twitch is all comfortable, but you get the match and you're so committed to modern. I don't know, bro. He didn't tell me why it'd be better in classic. He said that Sim, the mirror match, and Manon were the 3 that he would go classic for sometimes, but he couldn't call that this is going to happen, but it's modern right now.
Yeah. I think, I mean, no matter what, I think it's good that he has that option between like picking the character and picking what style he wants to play with. But even so, like the kind of words that they were talking earlier in regards to the anchor match. I mean, Fudo pretty much backs against the wall at this point. He has to win this matchup, no matter who the anchor match is going to be. And then Shuto, he couldn't get the person he wanted to come out. But either way, he says he was ready for the player. Any of the players, really, is going to do his best to win. Very generic, right? He wants to finish with the 40-0. The biggest thing is, now that he does have this opportunity, how much of a difference are we going to see? Because right now, like, he's already done a fantastic job looking at his current stats. He applied some grade A butt whooping, for lack of better words.
He was cooking more than some people wanted him to cook with that modern against the likes of, I believe it was Momochi in that anchor match. And he's always been like a clutch anchor player. Like, I feel like first to 3 definitely suit him very well. Helps to get the reads. And from Marisa, you need those reads. Because on defense, she's not the best. There's definitely ways to blow up on defense. Throws delete a lot of her game plan against stance and things like that in the corner. You can find some weird, awkward angles where Crouch Fierce, which is already kind of slow, to anti-air will not reach. Gladius can reach in some cases, but spinning OD Gladius for an anti-air is an expensive ask. And watching the Big Birds play, watching Big Bird and Angry Bird play on their stream, they talk about the weaknesses of Marisa, and they're like, if you don't have a lot of bar to continuously, harass and get things going and flowing, your offense just kind of halts. It stops. There's not really that much mix after, you get the sledgehammer knockdown and stuff like that. If you have no bar right after it, after a command grab, there's no Oki until you get drive rush, right? Like things stop, right? So you have to use your bar, right? You see a lot of damage, and I get it, chat. Like you see 70%, like dang, that character's cheap. But meter management is very key, very important. And when you're lacking the buttons that this character is in terms of the lows, like the crouching light kick, it's a different way to you have to figure out to open up characters on Marisa. Either way, anchor match, final match of the day.
Shuto's going modern for this one, by the way.
Okay, so he's sticking with modern.
That was pretty high up there. Fudo still managed to get a counter hit off of the lights. Back medium punch to the anti-air. Yes, sir. He doesn't get that for free. I love that from Shuto. Oh, and then drive impact. Look at the damage incoming. He gets to set up. What happens? No, you do not throw against Muscle Mommy. You're dead, bro. You're deader than dead. You are not allowed to whip anything. Damn, yo, Fudo got knocked back out of his seat too when it happened.
He was like, dang, the Twitter clips are real. Fudo modern though. Infold, nothing after it though. Impact does not land, but shoot those out of bar. Swing a little bit. Parry, super, it lands. Meteorite, almost could not get some damage. Oh, socked him with the stand fierce. Charge up.
Oh, you're dead. Look at the soul leave Dawson's body as the hammers him into the side of the temple. This girl is violent.
Man, Fudo just, he act like he was getting hit the whole time as he rears back up in his chair. But it makes sense. The re-tipper should have been fantastic. The neutral jumps. We've been able to call it the fireballs with the anti-fireball play with the meteorite. That was so smart. Infold, bagged the buster, did not get the follow. Unfortunate. Still caught up in the corner. Fudo, what do you do?
Oh, wee. Get out of there. Man, I'm loving the usage of armor from Shuto thus far, man. He's been abusing that to get some of the big openers against Fudo. Now, Fudo is well aware of it this time. He'll take that punish counter, not a lot of damage, but the burnout is significant. Cheating posted, yes, sir. Having to play the maze,
back up.
the maze of limbs.
The maze of limbs is in, bro. You see him back up, flip that Superman. With the OD fireball, look at this zoning. This is what I want to see for your Fudo. But she denies it with the super, just applies it. Enough to kill. Scaling. What an option.
That super was sick. She's like, I've been to the beach. Oh my God, that's modern reactions. Dear Lord. Send help. Send help. Damn.
Modern problems require modern solutions. You can't throw out no fireballs. Nice anti-air right there. Gets a pickup. You want the damage, you gotta go to the levels for this character. Oh, but there's levels. You cannot throw out the fireball. Stand fear starter. Drive rush up in the corner. Time for that harassment. Killing that drive gauge as you block. Like that slide, but does not get much else after that applied. Unfortunate. You are dying.
Oh my God. Gladius is so good. The armor, help. You can't do it. No, you're punching the hell out of him too. This guy, Shuto, is on a different playing field with this character. God damn.
Oh, I don't even need classic. I don't even need classic, bro. I'm on with the modern reactions, but it's been working out being able to deal with the fireball pressure of this character. I think maybe this might be the way to play. You might not even need classic info. Dino some dirt, bro.
Man, that's so tricky. And the delay of the medium kick too. This guy, Shuto. Do not whiff a throw! Mommy gotta discipline you again! How many times do I gotta teach you this lesson, old man?
Set point. This might be the quickest match. We better get a stat. This might be the quickest match I've seen in Street Fighter League history. Perfect carry, corner carry. That's all you're looking for.
No,
yeah,
not like
reset
this.
info.
Ugh.
Oh, bro.
Oh my gosh. You're gonna fold him twice? You're gonna turn him into origami? Oh boy. Side switching. Take that damage in. No, we're not side switching. My mistake. Uh-oh.
Already saw something.
All right.
Reactions worked out against him. Still doable for this character, but chip no dip is definitely difficult though. This character, Sim, is a chip master. Backs up for the anti right there. You got to be able to start making him play your way, right? You got to make him play the Sim game. It's harder in 6, I get it, but you got to make him feel uncomfortable, get the zoning. But there's so many ways that she just busts through the fireball. We've already seen it happen continuously. Oh, no, the throw bait.
Oh, the exchange? No, not like this. Fold him up. Turn him into a pretzel.
Like
do it again! Yo, do it a third time. Just do it a third time.
Look at the side of cheese.
Oh, boy.
Look at that part at the bottom, though. I know it's level 3. I know it's scaled. 2 combos. Good kill right now. You went burnout? Oh, no. Don't take the skies. No surprise. Oh, it's one touch, bro. Impact. We react. Yeah, let me get that level 3.
Not gonna kibble, but it's gonna leave a mix-up opportunity, especially with the bar that Futo has. Fudo, excuse me, did I say Futo? Hello. Footsies. No way!
Almost
He was ready for that.
The whip punish. He's actually, I mean, that's the second time we've seen him deal with that button. This time with a different button, obviously, against the Superman punch, I should say. But he has been spacing himself out differently, and I like that he's been able to get these bigger leads. We're finally seeing the game on the board here from Fudo. Ooh, for how long?
Oh. And I love that, yeah, the yoga float just getting out of Enfold's grasp. The slap. Don't you disrespect me, young lady. Oof. The train combo, yes, sir. Fudo, he's absolutely ready for it. Yoga Blast into Yoga Inferno, level 1, so slick.
A lot of his game plan has been built around like utilizing those levels for damage and anti-airs. That he's going to be ready for it. In full, misses the grab. Again, we see the dive kick. One more hit. That should do it. The trade Fudo's not backing. I'm sorry, Shuto's not backing down. Fudo, careful now. This is your game to win.
Oh, that's so scary. Yeah, the burnout's no longer an issue for either player. Fudo pretty aggressive with his meter though. Sending out the Odu fireball.
Seen those buttons be whip punished. Please, please, don't let it be you. Oh God. Oh yeah, this is tense right here.
Ooh, so that's a big risk, right? If you're trying to like whiff punish with the sweep, there's it has to connect, right? Because there's so much recovery on it.
Might have to resort to other buttons. Maybe the switch of classic will be to like whip punish. If maybe if it comes down to it, we'll see. Flutter bar, the empty jump button. Gonna push in the corner.
Oh, no way.
Level 3 immediately. No gaps, my friend.
And that's not gonna take okay, it's gonna do significant damage. Not as much as it could have been, because there had to be more controls behind it. Yes, sir, you can't drive impact that! That makes up for all the damage that was left behind from utilizing modern shortcuts. Man, Shuto blasting the hell out of that drive impact.
It's on set point. Level 1 on him. We like the zoning. Like Shuto being able to like maximize efficiency with this character with these modern controls is great, but here's Fudo getting a lot more aggressive. When that rushdown game with the sim, there's no levels with the damage going and flowing. Oh yeah, meaty right there.
Oh, no.
Foot all the way up in them guts.
No. And fold again. Ugh. His arm's not supposed to bend that way. Damn, the handshake from Napoli. You see that? I did it on the front. I did it. Andrew.
That was for you.
Oh boy.
You get that level 2? Oh yes, sir. You know what it do. You're deader than dead. Fudo answered back. A violent comeback. But that was at the precipice. That was like a one more decision on the side of Shuto to also seal it. This is going down to the wire.
Fudo.
This is looking like a...
倒せるってことで、
pretty good.
狙ったんですけど、まあそれが本当ギリギリ
That's a hot plate, brother.
間に合わなかったけど、その空振りで釣り出されてしまったと。
Man, I want to see that fusion, man. Indian and Italian food. That'd be kind of sick.
信頼して
That'd be kind of sick. I'm just saying, man.
なんとかしたと。
You know? You know what I'm saying? You picking down what I'm putting down? You know? Don't worry about it.
Listen, I'm willing to eat anything right now.
I shouldn't be talking about food right now. That's why I stopped right then and there. I'm like, you know what? I should probably not talk about food. But we should talk about Fudo instead, man. His adaptation thus far has been pretty great. I think one of the biggest things that I do like from Fudo is his, I guess, tenacity to take to the skies. It's not necessarily the best idea to try to pick movement as an option for defense as Dhalsim because of the amount of damage that Marisa can dump out. But it's worked out a lot in the reads against the stance from Marisa on these last couple of rounds. So Fudo, again, his movement options for defense have been paying off a lot. And these are solid reads. Now it's up to Shuto to kind of stuff those options, to kind of reinforce the point that, you know what, Fudo, I'm not going to let you move for free anymore.
I'm going to be real. I hope it goes to Classic. More damage would have killed in some of these situations. We see him talk about it. Will it be? It is the Classic Shuto. He switches. There it is. All right. Shuto. Let's see what do. More damage, more conversions. Less guessing up in the corner. Let's see what happens.
We'll see how much of a difference it's going to be. Do you see how much more aggressive Fudo has been, though? Oh boy, we get the Spartan kick back! Yes, sir! That's so tricky!
Infold him. Oh, Dark Rush command grab again!
Lord.
So do it again, please do it again to him. Oh, almost got the shimmy. We'll still get the grip. That'll do it.
Are you kidding me? Did you see the amount of damage she just did? Knock Dhalsim down, make him scream mommy. Jesus.
Full set point here for Shuto. On the Classic, has to ride or die with this control scheme. But again, Fudo getting aggressive. And I want to see more of those levels simplified because we saw the levels deal the damage. So anti right there. Get the back throw.
No.
Oh, it could have been so much more.
He missed the big confirm off of the jump in. That could have been so pivotal, not only just for the damage, but for the momentum, right? You would have been able to drag Dawson into the corner, but it's now Fudo taking full advantage of that situation, that hefty miss. Wait a minute! No, not again. Oof.
No
Dashed
way.
up. Watch out for the
Level
meter, though.
3. Oh,
No. Drive reversal. Saving
so he
Fudo,
perfectly
and
gets
it's going to
clip coming
be...
in.
That's right. Big save.
We're at the end. Oh my God. Far at the bottom. For Fudo, this is the access to damage. For Shudo, it's the access to finishing the dang game.
Oh my God, the Yoga Blast connection into the SA1. Nice work from Fudo. Great awareness, yep. Hit and run style. We're starting to see it a lot more. Fudo with the movement. Shuto is trying to track him down.
Reset with that jump fierce. Impact. Oh no! Out for a little bit too long. Level 3 immediately. This is gonna suck.
Uh-oh.
Give me some of that
A
bar.
little kiss
Yeah.
on the chin. Ugh. Now you know history, old man. No, he caught him! He was trying to move out of the way. No way he's dead.
Look at that load of data way of play.
Easy. Shuto with the pop-off immediately. And that's the second time around, by the way. So Fudo had actually been baited like that sequences before, and Shuto was not ready for the whiff punish. This time around, after the crouching light kick, he waited and baited. He waited and baited, just right in that moment to get the proper target combo, or at least get the button, the proper button for the whiff punish. And Shuto, well deserved on the pop-off. Man, if Modern don't do it, he switched to Classic. He's like, you know what? I can do both. Get you a man that can do both. All right?
The fact, again, that like he can play both is maybe that's the move. Maybe there's some matchups where you just feel not good. Again, I wasn't able to get much out of him, but he was like, bro, for Sim, sometimes I switch, and this, I'm guessing the reason why is the damage output, less having to reset the situations, and Fudo getting active and whip punishing, less interactions I have to deal with against this character. Went down to the final game, final round, but it's better off to not have to deal with Fudo getting these level 1s, level 2s, and things like that, upping out the damage, getting aggressive, whip punishing for full screen, and when you're lacking in health, and he's got the big lead, you're getting cooked, and you're like, dang, if I only had level 3 juiced up, if I only had these 70% combos, now they're down to like 50% or whatever, which is still a lot, but not enough to make Fudo, you know, scared, or just to close out in general. Shoot though, working with both. Chat, you can't say nothing about that, bro. He done did both of them, modern and classic. Wow.
Oh man. This was a long day. The sun is actually beaming on my bald head, and I have zero protection against the rays of the sun. But I will say this, it was absolutely worth it to see each and every one of these matchups, right? I think as we get to see the meta develop in Street Fighter 6, we start to see it taken to a whole different level when it comes to Japan play as well. I'm really admiring the fact that they are taking into consideration all of the world's gameplay. I'm starting to see like some of the new stuff I saw over at Brussels already being implemented and improved here at Street Fighter League Japan. And now I'm kind of curious to see what's in store for us, at least on the west side, right? Because today's can opener day, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's can opener day, ICFC, the whole nine, right? We're going to see a lot more locals going on today. And then obviously we have TNS, and obviously we have Casa Bunch as well. So we're starting to see like the meta develop so quickly, and I'm so excited for it, guys. You guys have no idea. With this in mind, obviously, let's take a look at the game interview with Sasamo. Obviously, I'm looking for Sasamo, the new kid on the block, right? He said I was a bit sick, that's why he didn't play today, but his teammates were so strong, as expected. Higuchi also, he had a little bit to say. I was thinking today's match was a close win. You see that? Versus Jamie, a close win, by the way. I'm sorry. But it was awesome winning these close games, is what, that's exactly what Higuchi had said.
Yeah, then we'll see Sasamo play. You know, we saw on Twitter that he was a little bit sick, so hopefully he feels better. But yeah, Higuchi just in that close set, and it was a close set. You know, being able to adjust himself around how John Takuchi was playing on defense was a way to play. I mean, it felt like it was beyond just a matchup, right? Like, obviously, Sonic Boom's coming to play in the perfect pairs, but getting the reads on the rhythm of how the player wanted to play was very imperative too, as well. And again, as you pointed out, it was a close set. I think this is going to develop as we go on. Jamie is going to be more of a threat. We're so close to Evo, just in general. We're so close to these big tournaments. Evo, CPT starting. In fact, I think Evo actually is like rings the bell for CPT.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be godlike.
It's our first CPT event. I don't know if you guys noticed, but yeah, Evo is our first CPT event to kick the tour off. Damn, that's a lot. That's a lot of pressure. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could hang, man. You got me all kinds of nervous.
If I get him. Bro, 7,000 people. Demons all around. Lord in heaven. But I'll play anybody. Y'all see us out there, I'll play anybody. I'll play some casual. Anyway, Mimo says, I was able to do well in the third match. Until then, I was guarding patiently. We saw him definitely explode and set up that sequencing to find what punishes. Shoot though. So I got 2 games in with Modern, but again, as we pointed out, he can run the Classic too to get through. And he said I was going to change the Classic as well. So I like him, again, having that variance, having both styles. Again, that may be the way to play. For some people, maybe that doesn't work out for their style, but for Shudo, I think it does. Like for Big Bird, it probably won't work out, right? Big Bird, I think, is fine with Classic. Maybe that changes later on, but probably not. But for Shuto, he thrives with this. He thrives with both. Anti-airs were a disadvantage for Classic Marisa. So that is the disadvantage, is not having those immediate supers to be able to anti the Meteorite that we saw, or level 3 against the Fireballs, or even the floats and things like that. Not having those options may have been difficult for him to utilize without Classic. I didn't know that. Write that down.
Yeah, I'd imagine. I mean, like access to Dimokairos, the two-handed slam, not two-handed, but the little uppercut into like the ground pound. I figured like that'd be a pretty good anti-air for certain angles. And having access to that with modern controls makes it easier. I don't know. I kind of want to ask Shuto to elaborate on that eventually in regards to like the anti-air department, but maybe I'll just play. Oh, sorry, I misread that. Anti-air was a disadvantage for Classic Marisa. I see. My mistake. All right, I misread that. My bad. Never mind. Don't worry about the question. It's late. Really? Question mark? But anyway, my question to you, Senkola, how many modern players do you think we'll see make it into top 6 of EVO?
Unless it's Shudo, not a single one. I think that.
You think so?
You know, okay. Let me pull this back. Unless it's Shuto or Tachikawa, I haven't seen any other modern players work at that level. But I could be wrong. You know what? I could be wrong. I don't even know who's going to be in top 6, to be honest. But if I had to put my money on a modern player that was going to make it up there, it'd be those two. Tachikawa could definitely get through. Tachikawa's been really dominant with it, and Shuto having Classic just in case. I think those two, but I don't know, bro. Actually, I don't know. What about you?
Dude, it's really hard to tell. I'll talk about it after these stats, though. One of the big things we want to talk about, obviously, the anti-airs being a problem, right? Shuto, he talked about his anti-airs being a little bit lackluster while in Modern. The statistics pretty much prove that point, right? 7 out of 17, we've seen a little bit of a difference going into those final matches. But 69, perfect amount of anti-airs for young Fudo. I'm telling you, man, he's got it. Best amount of anti-airs we could ask for. For the rest of it, though, I mean, taking a look at the drive impact, pretty impactful, right? Taking a look, no pun intended, Shuto, 4 out of 5 drive impacts landed. Pretty damn good.
Shuto on his side, 4 out of 5, really good. But again, I got to keep going back to it. The fact that Shuto has a game plan for when he goes back to Classic, and he's kept it, he's kept it ready. It's difficult. If you're switching back and forth, whole new control scheme, whole new strategy. It's not just, oh, I just switch back and I can anti-air better or whatever. It's a different mindset, different mentality. It's maybe it's akin to playing like another character, or I guess another groove, where there is like an Alpha 3. So like it's a different strategy that you have to be able to switch your brain on. And even though he says he wasn't worried about playing Sim, it was definitely close at the end. So I don't know, Shuto. But like, I like that he's ready with both forms, depending on what he needs to do, what the game's asking of him. Do I need an anti-air? I've got modern. If I need to get my damage, I've got classic. And I want more players, whether it be that or maybe the playstyles or whatever, have that in mind, have that switch up, and be able to flip things if need be to have different strategies as we go on with this meta, whether it be different drive gauge usage, different CA usage. We saw Fudo use CAs as anti-airs. We see right now Saishunkan Kumamoto with 40 against DetonatioN. DetonatioN again leaves with 0, zilch, nothing, a donut with absolutely nothing on top of it. It's a bagel.
It's a hey man, some people like donuts, some people like bagels. The fact of the matter is, we're still going to see them thrive in the rest of the season, right? We still have plenty more to go in the first stage here, Street Fighter League Season 6. Again, it is round robin style, so all of these teams will be playing off against each other. Ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much concludes our matches for today. But to kind of give you a recap really quickly, Good 8 Squad got their W versus Team GyoGun 30-10. Nagoya Oja Body Star following suit against Hiroshima Team Ikuza. And of course, DetonatioN FocusMe just falling a little bit short. And I'm trying to soften the blow a little bit. 0-40 against Saishunkan, Seoul, Kumamoto. Seoul's doing a pretty good job. I think they should be in first place if I'm not mistaken. No, FAV actually is in first place. My mistake, my mistake. Take a look at the stats, huh? Who's down below? GyoGun, Ikuza, and DetonatioN. Wow.
What a change up. Good 8 Squad, not the top spot either as well. Shobi is a gaming Cyclops, Athlete Gaming a little bit lagging behind, and Oja Body Star on the fine line. That means GyoGun, Hiroshima Team Itsuka, and DetonatioN FocusMe gotta toughen up, tighten up. I'll give you guys a little preview of what's coming up next time that we meet after EVO. It's gonna be Team DetonatioN back up on the sticks. Same with Cyclops, Athlete, Gaming, Osaka. They'll be fighting against each other. And then that match will be Saishunkan Kumamoto versus FAV Gaming, the top spot. You can see it right there on the screen. Shinobi is in Gaming versus Good 8 Squad to round things out. This has been a little bit different of a season. We're not seeing the same sort of domination just yet from some of these teams. We're seeing some people have to acclimate a little bit. We're seeing some blow-ups. I will say though, FAV Gaming, who was the winner of one of the Street Fighter League, Japan runs, is getting things done though. I mean, they are in that top spot. That is one that thing that is not a surprise.
Yeah, no doubt in my mind, man. This is going to be pretty impressive to see what they're going to bring to the table after Evolution happens, right? There's going to be a lot of contemplation as to what happens, but in the meantime, I want to make sure you guys fully understand that we will be taking a little bit of a break. After today's episode, we won't be back until August 11th. That's right, mark your calendars. August 11th is when we return. It'll be after EVO, after the release of Rashid. So again, be sure to tune along, and also follow youtube.com/Capcom Fighters, as well as twitch.tv/Capcom Fighters for the official English broadcast. You can also follow us on social media as to when we'll come back. A little bit of tidbits going into EVO, as well as San Diego Comic-Con happening this weekend over at _St. Cola, as well as Vicious FGC on Twitter. Any sort of questions that you guys may or may not have in regards to how Rashid will operate, I'll do my best to kind of give you those answers this weekend. But taking a look at the current schedule, right? Again, this is still the first stage. We have our teams prepped up and ready to go for the month of August. And it's been an absolute banger thus far, man. It's been so fun to get through each and every one of these games, right, Saint?
It's been absolutely entertaining. Street Fighter 6 is definitely delivering, and so is Street Fighter League, as we prophesized. But again, some people meet their demise at the second half of eliminating 3 of those teams. 6 will remain, and we'll go back to the home in a way, but get ahead of myself. All this has been fantastic. All these matches have been great. My neighbors hate me. I'm so sorry to them, but I'm also not sorry because this is lit, bro. I've been having a great time. Hopefully all of you have been having a great time. Show us that you've had a great time. If you see something that you like, clip it, send it at us, throw it at us. I want to see it because, I forget because it's really early for me. So let us know what you enjoy, and again, keep it locked and loaded on all things Capcom. Make sure you guys are following everything that's happening at EVO 2 as well. We'll be out there hanging out, playing as many casuals as we can. I'm not going to be playing the tournament, but I'll be down to play anybody out there. So if you see me, let's play some sets. I need to learn. I'm going to play everybody.
Play me, man. I'm trying to play all the commentators. What's good? I want to see everybody in the streets. But more importantly, I want to just make sure that you guys fully understand that, this game is groundbreaking. I genuinely mean this, man. This has been breaking so many new grounds and also really listening to the cries of the people. This is the closest that we can get to a great fighting game, right? Probably one of the best fighting games we could ask for, on top of having amazing netcode. And it's not just me saying this, man. I think, you know, the guys over at Capcom are really hearing everybody and their input. They take it seriously, yo. And I truly mean that. We're about to see them this weekend. So with that in mind, again, if you haven't done so already, if you haven't picked up Street Fighter 6, well, guess what? The demo is currently out and it's for free, so you can try it out yourself. You get to try out two pretty good characters. I say Luke and Ryu. You know, you guys might be prosecuting me for that one, but Luke, definitely good. In the meantime, again, if you guys haven't done so already, please follow along. We also have plenty of other people working around the clock for Street Fighter League Japan. Be sure to follow them on YouTube as well as Twitch. We got so many different MCs, so many different commentators as well. It's been so enlightening to see the different perspectives, right?
Absolutely, man. I can't wait till Evo. Y'all give me your predictions. In fact, add us your predictions. I can't tell who's going to take it. I feel like that's going to set the tone as the beginning of the CPT. But also, you have Street Fighter League players that have done well at other bigger tournaments, enhanced by Street Fighter League. I feel like they're going to go really far. But until we meet again, people, stay safe, and we'll see you in the streets. Have a good one.
Take it easy. See y'all after Evo.
過去最大規模の激闘が予想されますので、ぜひお見逃しなく。詳細は公式サイトにて続報をお待ちください。それではストリートファイターリーグプロ JP2023、本日はファーストステージ第3節の3試合をお届けいたしました。実況は私 R、そして解説はハメコさんでお送りいたしました。ハメコさんありがとうございました。ありがとうございました。また次節でお会いいたしましょう。じゃあねー、さよなら。